What up, my LS amigos? I stole that. What's up, people? My name is Lewis Lee from All Lens Media, and I'd like to welcome everybody to Plan and Traffic. Coverman 66, doing this thing next to me.
And
we got a chat room, a couple people.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? What's happening? That's right. Is Radio Ray showing up tonight?
Yeah, Ray, he usually comes in a few minutes.
Oh, he pops in? Okay.
How you doing, Papa Squirrel, John, Jim?
Oh, snap. Thank you, LaSalle. Thank you, Jim. Yeah. It's a Phillips 66 logo.
Yeah, it's a nice shirt. I might steal one.
No, we all getting some. Don't worry. We all getting some.
Hey, where'd you get the mask with your logo on it?
A guy down the street, he has a printing press.
Okay.
And he was just like, Terry, come here, I want to show you something. And next thing I know, he has a whole bunch of these little, if I had to have them in white and black, which I'm going to get, but he had them in white. And I was just like, wow, those are nice. The face mask, he did an awesome job.
That light lighting is too bright.
Yeah.
Well, you got the rich man lights in the back.
What are you kidding me?
We can't afford those lights.
They're 8-foot fluorescent T12s from Lowe's. They're like $40 a piece.
Do you ever have a fluorescent bulb fight with someone?
No, that's dangerous.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
What's up, John?
Want some popcorn?
I would love some. What flavor is that?
What do you call it? The theater butter one.
Ooh, I like the kettle corn. It's like salty.
I love kettle corn. Oh, yeah. I really like that the best. This one is like extra butter, movie theater stuff.
The good stuff, yes.
So Terry, what projects you got going on?
Well, I'm finishing up the Trailblazer. I'm actually, like I said, I went this far. So what I'm going to do is tonight I got to finish up the electric fans because one of my electric fans blew. I was driving the truck.
What the hell was that?
What's up, Ray? What's happening?
How's it going, fellas? Good to see you all.
Yeah, back at you. Yeah, so I got to finish up that. I got to take the fan out, replace one fan because I have a dual fan set up. Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the '98 to 2002 Camaro fan, electric fan, because they're dual. I love them. I put them on everything. And
that's what I had blue on my car. It was the same thing used on the Corvettes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So instead of replacing the whole fan, or either getting like a new fan shroud and all that and reinventing the wheel, I figured let me just change the fan. And so I called Summit and they happen to have the motors. So I was like, well, if I'm going to do one, might as well do two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, the camera is rolling when I install it.
Good.
Yeah, I was looking at the dual fans, too.
They're cool. You got to also watch for the CFM because I believe I can't find any documentation how much CFM the '98 to 2002 Camaro fiber fans are pushing. There's nothing. I even called up Pace Performance and they were like, "We don't have that information." I'm like, "Oh man!" So it's kind of hard to find it, but I'm going to find it.
Have you dealt with Pace for other stuff, Terry?
I love Pace Performance.
That's where I got my my dual quad setup from Pontiac.
Yeah. They're here in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
I believe
they're right here, right down the street from me.
I have
they were called Pace Pontiac at one point.
Yeah, Pace Pontiac was the dealership here.
The Pace Performance.
Yeah, I think it's their son that did the performance stuff.
But yeah, they would. I think they were a dealership.
Yeah, there used to be a dealership, but now, actually, they're still a dealership. But I think they're the Cadillac dealership. And then they have the performance end.
Yeah, that's where I got my first ZZ4.
Yeah, it's in Salem, Ohio.
Yeah.
And Salem is like right down the street from me.
Yeah.
They're building some pretty monster stuff.
No, Pace Performance, that's the plot. That's the spot,
Yeah, good stuff.
And I did not realize, I knew that the SSR, the SSR convertible pickup that they had a couple years back,
Yeah.
that is the twin of the Trailblazer SS. And I did not know that you can get that in the final years of that car or truck, you can get that in a 6-speed.
Oh yeah.
Had I known that, I'd be having a 6-speed in my Trailblazer right now. I did not know. I did not know.
John, you brought your own air conditioning.
No, this is the radiator, copper brass radiator that was in Half Breed.
Okay.
Since the 70s.
Really?
Wow. It looks good.
And this fan and this shroud, without this hole, this was put in by later on a different owner of the car. I didn't have this. This was solid. I had a couple of those little rubber flaps that open up at high speed. And this fan I bought at a local junkyard in Huntington out of a wrecked 80 Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
When the car was the 70 body, I had a flex fan with this radiator, with the stock Pontiac shroud. And then when I went to the 81 and made the removable nose, I built this. And I got this, I swear to God, I got this out of the junkyard for $30.
Yeah.
A wrecked Corvette. And this thing, with this, the motor never went above 180 degrees.
I have an article in my file somewhere.
This thing still works, and it was in the car when I got the car back.
Hot Rod or Carcraft did this, and they wanted to source out the best junkyard fans for a build that would fit most builds. And they came up with I think it's a late 80s T-Bird, had a dual fan setup. And I think it moved like 1,300 or 1,500 CFM. Yeah. I can find the article. It's in my file cabinet. And
I remember it's the Taurus and the Lincoln Mark 8. People like to go to the Lincoln Mark 8 one, which basically is a T-Bird.
Makes sense. Yeah, right. Yeah. And they said that was the best bang for the buck because you can get them in a junkyard cheap, like John did. Yeah. Yeah. And why not?
It was easy to pull it in because it was set up with 4 bolts. They had the clips in the plastic shroud.
Right.
I used, nuts and nylox and bolts, but I can't believe that this thing is still running. I just cut the wires. The last time I started the car up and turned this thing on, it ran, not a problem at all.
Yeah.
So, that's a testament to whatever motor GM was using.
It's probably Delphi or something like that.
All these years, it still runs. And if you turn this thing on, man, it creates a freaking storm.
Yeah.
It moves so much air. It's ridiculous. And I used to actually, when I would pull up to a stoplight, the temperature would drop so much, the thermostat would close. The car would go down to like 160 degrees.
Oh, geez.
I used to run a 185 thermostat in the car.
Yeah.
And it would get up 185, 190, running. And then you pull up to a stoplight and you watch the gauge just go down. The thermostat closes, you take off, and then it works its way back up again.
Yeah, yeah.
You wasn't even thinking about it. When
you're sitting there at an idle, your water pump's only moving X amount of water at an idle. But the fan is not changing speed.
Right.
So this is
so you had that fan.
So
you dialed that fan to come in all the time. You didn't have it like on a switch or either like a computer.
No, I didn't have it on a thermostatic switch. I had it on just a power switch.
Okay.
Turn the car on, flip on the fan, let it run, get in the parking lot, shut it off. I didn't do the thermostat deal at all because I just looked at that as one more weak link in the chain.
What's nice? You can wire it in. My Fiat is done like this. You wire it into a relay, a latching relay. So even like if the fan comes on, even if you shut the key off, the fan will stay on.
Right. Until it gets to the right temperature.
And then it'll shut off.
Yeah. Be Cool. All these big names, they have like a module that you can get for like $40, $50.
Correct.
And you put the probe between the fins.
Right.
And so
Ron Francis sells it too. Yeah.
Yeah. But you gotta make sure you have it on a power all-time power.
Right.
Because like you said, once it hits and you can program for like 170, 160, whatever. And but once it hits 170, like I said, even in the car, that's the dangerous thing. Because you work on your car and it comes on.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
I got this thing I just got.
Oh, it's to make a cheesecake.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
New York cheesecake.
Stainless steel, fine
Right.
mesh screen. It's from a company called Southern Rods and Parts out of Greer, South Carolina.
Right.
They sell them for Dominators, thermal quads, regular Hollies, the whole deal. And so
And you
it's,
can wear it as a hat. There you go.
it's
Look
an
like
air
Eagle.
screen.
Or a Shriner, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you wanted to run the car, with no air cleaner, at least you
Right.
got a screen
Okay.
on there. And they also sell it with 2 openings, so you can put the hose between the fuel vents.
The balance, yeah.
If you wanted to do that deal. But
Yeah.
with the fuel injection, I got it for Rocco's car. For the fuel injection, don't need that.
Right, right.
So I think it was a pretty good deal. It's a really nice piece. It's stainless steel. It's got a really nice screen. It's
Yeah.
tight as a drum.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of doing the assembly. I'm pretty happy with it for $45.
What's it
Can't
tuned
beat
to? Like a G or a D, maybe?
it.
You have to, yeah.
I don't know. See if you can hear it. Where's the microphone on this thing?
And it's like a loose G. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a B flat.
Yeah, who knows?
So, hey, I got a question on the fans.
That's a C major 7.
Okay.
I got a question on the fans still. I was thinking about getting a fan from a truck because I got a lot of room under the hood of the Caddy, and I wanted to get much air blown as possible. So, what do you guys think?
An electric fan or a motor fan?
No, electric fan.
There's a
I
lot of
bought a new
good.
radiator.
There's a lot of fans out
There's a
there.
lot of good factory electric fans. I mean, any V8 is going to be, have the
No.
capability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You talking about for your LS?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
because
you know what you can do? You can set up a dual fan system with each of them on a thermostat.
Mhm.
That way one kicks in, and then if it gets hot, the second one comes on, so you don't have to run one all the time. Or you could do like I had. That was that one giant GM fan, and like I said, it was on that car since I built the black car, which was 1981.
wow, that's crazy.
Put that thing in 1981 when I decided I wanted to run an electric water pump, no fan on the front of the motor, and I
Yeah.
went to having an electric fan on the radiator.
I bet you the new
And that's out of the
fans
junk
won't
yard.
run like
I
that.
don't even know how many miles were on that Corvette before the guy wrapped it around a pole.
Yeah.
That's true too.
The only
You know?
consideration, Lewis, is you got to make sure you have enough electrical power. You got to have the current to power that fan, and you want to power it with the right size wire. I can send you some diagrams when you're ready.
Yeah.
A lot of people underpay. They use too small of a gauge of wire, and then they fry stuff, or they don't. Or the fan won't work to full capacity because it's
That
the
fan-
choke point is the wiring.
That fan's got a number 8 line.
Yeah.
Positive and negative.
Right.
But you
And I
know,
ran it
you
through
know
one of
what
those, 30 amp relays.
But it would be good for Lewis because he's in a state where it's kind of like cold, so he don't need that fan running all the time. So he needs to get
No.
one of those switches where you put the probe that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So when he's driving, that fan probably won't even be on.
Yeah.
That's true.
You
And
know,
that's the beauty of electric fans. They're not on when you don't need them to be on. They're only
Right.
on when the motor temperature is hot.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I went to race car style. It's either on or off, but
Right. Right.
the second build now, thermostatically controlled.
That's it.
And I'm probably going to wind up using the exact same setup that's in the Camaro from the company that gave me all of this stuff from Cold Case.
Oh, you're not going to use the
Ooh,
Corvette
it's so
fan.
cool.
What's that?
You're not going to use the Corvette fan.
The fan that I have?
Yeah.
No.
That'll look good in my car.
I'll send it to you if you want it.
Because I may, I don't know. I'm going to now this year hook, charge up the AC in my car. And I'm just using a factory GM 7-blade clutch fan. But I don't know if that's going to cool right with the AC. So I'm still thinking I may have to go to an electric fan. I don't know.
Well,
Well, I think it looks cleaner.
Yeah, it does. Well,
And you get a little bit of horsepower because you don't have that draw, that big fan. with the
Right.
clutch.
yeah. Well, these guys from Cold Case, they worked with me on the Camaro, and they said they'll work with me on the Trans Am.
uh-huh.
I'm going with a big like this one, a big full size radiator. I got plenty of room, even though it's going to have the removable fiberglass nose. I'm not doing race car stuff. I'm doing street stuff.
Right.
So I'm going to have a full width radiator,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll go with the dual fans. They use dual 14-inch those SPAL fans,
Stalls, yeah.
and you can just set them up on the dual thermostat deal.
And that is the fan that's in the vintage AC. If you look at on the evaporator, the fan they use a SPAL fan on that too, which moves a lot of air. Really does.
Hey, I got a question about AC. Who's good with AC?
Yeah, I know. My buddies at the shop, I really rely on them because they do it all the time.
Can I just add Freon to this system, or do I need to evacuate it with a vacuum pump?
The best thing is to always put a vacuum pump on it just to make sure you have it vacuumed down and you get any moisture out of it. That's always the best way to do it.
Does anybody know how many inches of mercury I'm supposed to pull before I say, okay, I got enough of a vacuum?
I could look it up.
I don't know anything about that, and I haven't bothered to look, like on YouTube or anything yet.
It's in the Vintage Air specs. It's all in they have it all listed for you in there.
What does the Vintage Air run?
I spent, I think, $1,400 or $1,700.
14 or 15, depending on the system.
Yeah, that was complete.
There comes everything: the heat, air.
On my 69 Camaro, that was about the same.
Everything except Freon and just they don't give you Freon, and you got to crimp a couple lines. That's it. But yeah, the system is all there. Nice, easy to install. Very nice.
So I think I'm going to shave my firewall.
Okay.
Ooh, all right. That's
and
nice.
now, because I had to do some custom lines on the Camaro.
They're kind of nice too.
The system they give you, this is what they call their short fit system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stock car that didn't have AC. So they give you everything. But coming out of the firewall, you've got a low pressure and a high pressure line. You also got your heater lines, which we omitted right from the start. But this heat exchanger, that's in the car, it has a heater core in it.
Right.
The kid bought a complete heat AC system, replacement system for a 67 Camaro that has no AC. We just didn't hook up anything on the heat side. He said, I don't need the heat. But with this aftermarket chassis, the pre-bent tubing, hard tubing that they give you doesn't work. And I wanted to hide as much stuff as possible. So I wound up going up on their website to look at fittings and, things like that. And then I wound up buying all my stuff from a local dealer. But when I spoke to the people at Vintage Air, they said that all of their systems now have been modified. The lines come out where the old blower motor used to be.
Yes.
With this kit, they gave me a disc with a strap in the back, a threaded strap in the back that you put in, and you spin the nut, and it goes over that round hole in the firewall. So it's just it's a block-off plate. Well, they got so many people asking, I want to hide the lines, the high and low lines, and maybe even the heater lines up inside the fender over the stock wheel well. So they came up with a four channel or a 2-channel bulkhead, depending on what you're doing.
Like that.
Fits inside that opening where your blower motor used to be.
Yeah.
So now your hoses are automatically hidden inside the top of your fender.
I got to tell you though,
a really super nice looking system.
I'm using their short fit system in my car, and all of my hoses, the AC hoses and the heater hoses, come out of where the kick panel is on the right side. They come out of that side of the kick panel wall, so they're already behind the side of the fender, and then you just run them up through the fender. I had to run them into the engine
this
compartment.
System, no.
Yeah,
this system, all the hoses come out in the exact same area that the 2 heater hoses came out.
Mine don't.
And you know the beauty of Vintage Air, because like on my 67 Chevelle, I have it's a non-AC car, but I have an AC dashboard, and I want to use the opening in the dashboard. And they said we'll do that.
You can do that.
That's
No,
exactly what I did, Terry. Because I have a car that's they give you, they show you all the stuff on here, all the AC stuff. Because I had a non-AC car, but I had an AC dash control, so they were able to make me a hybrid system. Let me see if they show OEM blow motor.
Terry, this kit came with the sliders.
Yeah.
That
And
you
you have
mount.
to hook a little link up to it and everything. Yeah.
Right.
You're not using that though.
Yeah, because I got the same setup.
I'm using
for my
all
69
the
Camaro.
This is how that stuff comes out of the
I
side.
like vintage air.
That's how it comes right here. Comes out of the side of the kick panel.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And it goes right. So in the engine compartment, you don't see the stuff because it comes out behind like the side of the fender already,
Right.
and then you just loop it around.
Yeah,
So
see,
that
that's
comes
what
out
I'm
that
thinking I
little
need
thing where
because
the fender
I'm going to
covers it up.
shave the firewall.
See, on
Right.
this one, I have stuff
You
coming
can do
out of
it.
the firewall, but it's pretty much hidden.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
John,
down.
you mentioned cold
Goes
case.
up inside the fender.
Did you know cold case, they start out as pipes, the exhaust system?
Yeah, I saw them at Englishtown. Right,
Yeah, they were pipes. And then they branched off the cold case.
right.
Oh, cold case is pipes exhaust?
Yeah.
PYPES?
They
Yep.
were, yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, they still are. They still, you know, they're the
in
same.
Pennsylvania.
They're in Hatfield,
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
wait a minute. No, the guy from Ames told me they were somebody else, and then the guy became cold case. I talked to him a few years at Englishtown. It's a few years ago now, so I don't remember. But whatever. He dedicated himself to doing just radiators. So
Awesome people to work with.
yeah,
Totally.
they do a good
Totally.
job.
I'm gonna be doing a video for him.
Nice.
Me and Terry was talking last night about brakes. I think I'm going to do the 15-inch rear, what do you call it, rotors.
15-inch rotors. Why so large on the rear?
No, he's talking about the wheels.
Oh, the wheels.
The
Okay.
wheels, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay small as possible, but
I told him I said the only way he can get from what I remember, because when I had my 69 Camaro, I had 15-inch wheels on it to just be rollers, and I wanted disc brakes. The only disc company back then was you either had to try to find, I think it was a Turbo Trans Am that had disc brakes on that car. I think one of the Trans Ams came, like an 80, 81 Trans Am came
They
with
started
disc
in
brakes.
'79 with
Yeah.
the disc, four-wheel disc.
They had the four-wheel disc, or either SSBC. They make a disc brake kit for the rear that will accommodate a 15-inch. But if you go
Brake Corporation,
but if you go with a like a Camaro from like 98, 2002 Camaro, you have to have a 16 or better, 16-inch rim or better.
right.
yeah.
So I still have my disc brakes on my 69 Camaro, and I'm gonna Lewis, they're yours because they're SSP, so SSBC, and they're yours because I'm going with Willwood when I do my 4-link, my 9-inch, Ford 9-inch.
And it's funny, so I met the SSBC guy at the Syracuse Nationals, and I was talking about rear disc, and he says, "What do you do? What do you got in the front?" And I'm like, "I'm using Willwood." He goes, "What are you using that crap for?" He goes, "I'll sell you. I'll hook you." You know, it's like, yeah, of course you will. I know. They're all comparable. It's all good stuff. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay the smallest wheel possible so I can look like a California dude.
Yeah. So I
There's
got
a couple of guys running around here.
19s, put the
say that again, Terry. You froze up for a sec.
No, I told him put 18s on the front, 19s on the back, and be done with it.
Yeah, right.
I like that combination. I love that combination.
Yeah, it does look good on Camaros and
Well, the Caddy too is it's
any car that has a huge fender, a back quarter panel,
it balances it nice. It really does fill it in nice.
Yeah.
You know, even on my Pontiac, I'm running a 275, 55. 50 on the rear, and they're big. They're M&H Race Masters, but I just stand back and I look at them like, it fills the well, and it complements the quarter panel. It just, like beef for beef.
Exactly.
and see, I'm running air too, so I'm gonna be able to drop it down low.
Yeah. You're gonna drop it. That's gonna be a nice ride. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try, man. I'm trying my hardest to make it nice.
No, we're gonna get you right.
Oh,
It'll be cool.
So,
I can't wait to get the trunk to Ed. He's gonna do my mural.
oh geez, yeah, that's gonna be nice.
That's the
Yeah,
guy
he's
you
no
need.
joke.
Right there.
Yeah, Ed's
Without-
not playing around.
Theirs is no joke.
With all the magazine companies going out of belly up, out of business, we had last week had Mark Mathot on the radio show from.
I missed him.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
And after the show, he was great. He did a good job. So after the show, I'm writing up my description. I got to post on the web and all. I'm like, damn, what does he call himself on the company? I remember seeing it on his website, but I couldn't recall. So I opened up the browser. I go in and I'm looking. I said, okay, he's the president. So as I'm on there bumping around the website, I'm like, give me a freaking subscription to this thing. So I took a subscription.
Yeah, I subscribed, and then I got the 2 free downloads.
Yeah. I got the 2 right away. So and then he
I
appreciated
read one
that.
the other day, and I just started reading the other one, the latest one last night.
But I tell you, people were, we had a couple of people call, and everybody is jazzed that the magazine is back because guys are ready.
Yeah.
So
I got to send them an email. I want to know where my decals are. I order decals.
well, they got to come from Canada, so they got to cross the Lake
Across
Superior.
across the float.
Yeah, it's a big lake, John. It's a big lake.
Yeah.
What do they do with mail? What's the mail route? Is it? I guess it's air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
They're going to go right on the toolbox.
Yeah.
One, I got the last 3 of a certain kind that they had. That really looks like the logo on a magazine. Because he has like 5 or 6 different styles if you look at them.
Yeah.
And I wanted the one that really looks like the magazine logo.
Yeah.
And then there was 3 left, and I'm like, perfect, bam! And I took all 3 of them. I'll
Yeah.
put one on the toolbox, and I'll keep the other 2 for the Firebirds.
Yeah.
Right.
He's sporting some good cartoons decals.
Now my co-host Chris went berserk because Chris is a cartoonist. In fact, he I'll tell you something.
Yeah, we know.
There we go. He's got some.
He took
I had him do some caricatures because he did stuff for the website. So he did this one of me years ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's in the Impala, and I have one upstairs. The same thing, but he did it in the GTO. So
That's cool.
yeah, he's a good cartoonist. So he went berserk. And then when Mark was talking about the edition they have where you'll design your own cover, you draw the cover. Chris is like, "Oh man, I got to break out my pencils because I'm going to have to get in on this." Like, yeah, do it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, he was really jazzed.
Yeah, Mark's a good guy. He says to me that there's a new character in there. I forget what the first guy's name is, but the other guy's name is Clutch, and he's told a guy with an afro, and he says, "Terry, we're going to introduce you in a cartoon that's going to be your cousin." I was like,
Yeah.
so you might see
Coverman 66 on the foot.
Nice.
Cartoon, his cousin, my cousin Clutch.
Cool.
Now I met him, and I forgot. I was busy. Oh man, I was working, and I was like, "Oh man, tonight's the night." By the time I got on, it was over. And he's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. I'm
We'll
glad.
get back on.
Yeah, we get him back on, definitely. Really nice guy up in Canada.
Is he like in his 30s or 40s? I was trying to figure out.
I think he's probably in his. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in his 20s. I think he's probably 30.
20s. Wow. I didn't think it was.
I would say probably anywhere from 28 to like 36.
Wow. Yeah, I figured it was 30 somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. We met him at SEMA.
Right.
Or I did.
That's where I met him. Yeah, we met him same time, Louis.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we met him same time. He was over near that what's the name car that El Camino.
Oh yeah, yep. I tell you what, man, meeting people at SEMA, man, it's hard to explain. You become instantly friends.
Yeah. Trying to get rid of
and you start looking forward to it, because that's why I did the video more than just a car show. I mean, it's like a reunion every year,
That's a universal truth because we were talking with him and we were talking about Artie Schilling from Artie's Party, the pinstriper.
Right.
And Artie I saw at the Syracuse Nationals for a number of years, and I lost touch. I had him on a radio show many times, and last time I sent him an email, it didn't go through. So, and we were talking about him and said, hey, you know what's up with Artie? You know, I want to get in touch with him because he's not doing the pinstripe show anymore. So I said, all right, I got to call him. So just today, I gave him a call. And he's in a restaurant with his wife. He's like, you know, I told him, yeah, Ray, Motor Mouth Ray. He goes, oh, Ray. It's like, I haven't spoke to him in about 2 years, but it was like we just spoke last week. He's like, how you doing? You know, and you just pick up where you leave off. You know, it's a real, just a good, I think my wife and kids have asked me about it. I said, part of it is, you know, the car community is close knit and everybody's respectful of everybody else. I said, but the other part of it is we're all starting to get older too. So you value the friendships and you value people's conditions and their place in life. And if a guy wants to slow down, now you don't bust his balls so much. You understand it, you know, because you're slowing down a little bit too sometimes.
That's true.
So it's a good situation all the way around. So anyway, I spoke with Artie. He's going to call me back tomorrow and I'll get it. I'll see if I can. I'll pitch the show to him. See if we can get him on here because he is a world-class pinstriper. The guy is.
Oh yeah, love to have
very
him
well
on.
renowned.
I love watching pinstripers do it like freehand, and you know,
That's how he does it.
Did you guys ever meet Keith Echoes?
No.
Man, let me tell you, dude. I seen him do a semi truck, and he started at the top and almost jumped off the ladder and straight lined up.
Wow.
And I'm going to put up his video, man. He is no joke.
Actually, I'm just as I'm talking, I'm trying to think. I knew I had an ulterior motive for talking to Artie, and I had to remember what it was. When we had on Sunday, Mark told a story of when he was talking to Gene Winfield years ago, and Gene Winfield told him a story about Steve Mcqueen. And the story went, McQueen came into Winfield's shop, this is 1968, and said he needed they're going to be working on a movie and he needs a car, you know, something that he can thrash, right? So Winfield says, give me a week. McQueen comes back and Winfield has like 6 or 8 Camaros, you know, 68 Camaros. So McQueen jumps in one, takes it out. It was a 6-cylinder. Most of them were 6-cylinder cars. And he says, no, this car, you know, it doesn't have what I'm looking for. He says, this ain't going to cut it. He goes up the block to the Ford dealership, and you know what he checks out? He checks out a Highland Green Mustang, and he was working on Bullet, you know, but he wanted to flesh out the car himself. So, you know, it was just a cool story that we never heard about Bullet and McQueen. And the reason I want to talk to Artie is Artie had put me in touch with Gene Winfield a few years ago. They're friends. He would go out to California a couple times a year and work with them. So I want to verify the story. I just want to make sure all the I's dotted and T's are crossed before we do something with the story. Not that I don't trust Mark. It's just, you know, sometimes the story gets.
No, you want to make sure you get it before you start, you know, putting it out there.
Before we put
Ray,
it out, yeah.
You know, Alan is out there working with him right now.
Yes, that's true. Right. That's true
So
too.
you want me to shoot you Alan's info?
Yes, please. That'd be good too. Yeah, if I double prong approach, why not?
Sure.
So you know what you're saying, Ray. So what you're saying basically that is if this story is true, Bullet should have what the car and Bullet would have been rightfully what it should have been, a Camaro.
That's what Mark said. Mark said, you know, if it was the way it should have worked. If Winfield would have got 396 Camaros, Bullet, you know, he would have been driving a Camaro instead of a Mustang, without a doubt. No two ways about it. But he didn't know what. I guess he didn't know what Queen wanted. He might have been thinking he was going to be doing like a Barris thing, maybe just doing like star cars and, you know, custom stuff. So he just got 6-cylinder cars. I guess Chevy was they gave him up easier. But if he knew he needed a car for a chase, I'm sure he wouldn't have been getting the 250 with the Power Glides.
The 250 Power Glide.
Right. He would have had the 396, you know. So,
did you ever see the Sheryl Crow music video, Steve McQueen?
Yes, it's very good.
I posted that on Facebook the other day, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I never saw that.
It is very cool.
It's got seat. You know, I was looking at it, but I was watching it on my phone actually, and I was trying to determine if it was footage from the movie or from his son's recreation.
I think it's both. Yeah. I saw that like about a year ago, and I read a story about it, and I think it is like a conglomeration, and they did it so well, you almost can't tell in points.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering on which car it was.
Yeah.
You know,
I was just watching some YouTube video last night, and they threw in. I watched so much of this crap. I can't remember what it is, but they were throwing in like footage from Vanishing Point and then footage from Bullet. And it wasn't about either one of those movies. I forget what the hell the movie. It might have been a music video as well. I don't even freaking know.
I seen that. I turned away from it. Well, you know, because it had. I think I woke up to that, and I was just like, I thought about it was a dream or something like that when I woke up because I had to sleep with my TV on, and I seen something like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of Vanishing Point stuff and a lot of Bullet stuff in it, and it wasn't about either one of them.
Yeah.
I think it was. I watch a lot of drum videos too, so it was probably something music related, and somebody just did that conglomeration video. So I could go back in my history and find it. I can.
Well, that's one of the things with YouTube. You watch one video of one subject, and then the stuff that comes up is based on what you watched and what you have watched.
Exactly.
And you can go off on these tangents, and I find myself doing that. I'll be on Facebook, and somebody will post a YouTube link, and I'll click it. It opens up a different tab, and then I wind up I'm hanging out on YouTube for an hour and a half to 2 hours because I'm just going like around the world with all of this different stuff. You know what it is?
I do that now because like without TV shows being new anymore, I watch YouTube like it's my TV. I think I found it. It's a Doors video. It was an LA Woman video.
Really?
Wow. I'm going to fire it up and see. Hang on.
Well, well, gentlemen, I hope
Jim Morrison in a Shelby.
Ah.
So he's driving around like a 66 Shelby on the LA highway, the LA freeways. And it's all Doors stuff. So, there's McQueen. It's McQueen, and then his chat. Yes, it's okay. I will. I'll send you guys the link.
I'd like to see that. And don't forget, fellas, when you're in your travels of YouTube, don't be shy. Stop on over at Coverman66 and get a couple of likes in there.
I hit the subscribe and then bang the bell.
I know you did. I see who it is. Oh man.
Like I told you today, now that I watch it on my TV. I can't comment. You can't comment on anything on the TV, which is
that's the thing about sucks because like you got to actually log in to subscribe. That's the thing.
Well, I am logged in. I am logged in, but I can't like on the TV set. There's no way to go down and leave comments, which is
yeah.
Oh, they gotta watch all that stuff on my computer. I got a big monitor. It's TV and computer.
I just bought a monitor for like $300. It's like a 27-inch round.
Yeah.
My music and all that stuff on there.
So it's good because you can do anything on it. You can watch TV. You can do the computer. The whole gig.
Hey, I want to show you guys this video real quick. Some of you see it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It's the cat. Okay.
Pulling that line.
Wait till he gets down. Watch.
That's like drawing a circle. You don't realize like every increment is changing that angle on your wrist and the pressure. It's not concentric.
I don't know if this is this isn't the one I'm thinking of, man. He did one where he was going around circles. No, this is it. Wait a minute, watch.
Holy cow.
Nice. Yeah, that's sweet. That now the other way. Holy crap.
It's incredible.
I'm always amazed at artists because they can make perfectly straight lines.
Look how long the paint is staying on that brush.
Is that crazy? He's a really nice guy too. Terry, I'll take you over and see him. He hangs out in the pinstripe thing.
No, we'll definitely go back over there.
Really nice guy.
Over there where Tammy was?
No, he was in what's that building called? Where they had the audio and.
Okay, so that's where we saw that red Mercedes Benz with the LS in there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
but he's just free flowing.
Tammy was out there, man. I was like, shoot, we need lunch, man. Yeah, we were walking for a while.
Yeah, she was on the other side of the city.
Yeah,
it'd be nice if they get her over somewhere closer. They had her in the hotel. In the hotel
how come
lobby.
She wasn't in the area with all the other auto body and paint stuff?
Because it's hard to get those spots.
Yeah.
You know, she's new out there, so she has to work her way over there, I guess.
I
She might be able to get in this year.
video. I just sent you the video link.
It might be different this year.
Yeah, she might be able to get in.
I read
but she
that it sold out.
she had a nice booth last year.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it,
get
it had
that.
traffic there.
Yeah,
I
she
get-
introduced the new
They were
the new-
sold, all spots were sold out.
yeah. That's good. She introduced her new candy colors. And they're pretty nice, man. Her paint looks good. I can't wait.
I don't know what her secret is, but I mean, like, she had that whole row of candy color, and I was like, Jesus, look at this.
Yeah.
The guy that's going to do my Riley,
Camaro.
he's one of her, I don't know what you call it, like master buyers.
Mhm.
He uses all of her stuff, everything, primer, clear, all of her.
I'm telling you, man, she is not playing.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was showing us some of that waterborne stuff, and man, that stuff looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
The stuff she
Yeah.
sent me, I'm gonna once I get my shop all set up, hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll have it all set up. But I'm gonna paint my wife's her blender, and I'm gonna use Tammy's paint she sent me, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Your wife's blender like a mixer? Cake
Yeah, yeah, one of those. Wait a minute. See it over
Yeah, there you go.
Mix
kid
man.
made-
Yeah, give me a blender.
there? You
I
guys
like
see my countertops?
Oh,
Ooh.
nice. Very nice.
I just saw last week a Lexus that had a wrap that looked just like that marble pattern. The
Listen.
whole car was wrapped in like marble. It was.
That's all epoxy.
Is it? That's cool.
I've made the countertops out of MDF wood,
Right.
and then if you look at the edge, look at the edge. See the rock?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's Bondo.
Oh really?
Louis Lee, look at you, brother.
And if you look real close, you can see the
I
The
see a
pearl.
sparkle pattern. Yeah.
Pearl.
I can see
yeah.
that.
So I got a black pearl in there
Beautiful.
and white pearl, and then the base is gray.
It's an
if you
equal
look-
opportunity table.
Yeah, if you look real deep, I don't know if you can see it, but it's gray up the base.
Very
So
nice.
wait a second, that's a piece of wood.
Yep. And
What
I
I would
did
do,
all,
I would left the
I did
bottom.
all three countertops. I
Piece of
did-
wood. I would left the bottom untouched, so people could see, appreciate what you did.
Oh wait, you might even see it. See
Ah!
There you go.
Wow.
it? MDF.
So that's an epoxy. You're saying that's
Yeah, it's called Stone Cold Epoxy, and I found them on YouTube. And you can do different colors. You can do wood grain. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. And it's not like a hard countertop. Here, it's like a soft. It
Right.
feels soft and it cleans real nice. You can put heat on it. You can cut on it. It's amazing, man.
I
I'm
can hold
telling
up
you.
the gasoline.
I don't know about the gas, but
Check it out.
So did you have to put like an edge around it and pour it, or did you paint it on?
you pour it and then you trowel it on, and then you go through with a blowtorch and get all the air bubbles out,
Uh-huh.
and then you put your colors in, whatever colors you want to use, or you use metal flake, you use all different kind of stuff, paint, spray paint, whatever you want to do to make your look, and then you let it dry for 24 hours. You sand it, then you go over it with a clear epoxy, the same
Yeah.
stuff but just clear. And then you let that sit for 24 hours and it's on.
I would do that just so I could bring the oxyacetylene torch into the kitchen.
Right?
I really would. You know?
And you can do it over your existing countertops. You know, you paint whatever base color you want, it can be any color. And then you put your epoxy on and whatever sparkle. You don't have to use sparkles. You can use whatever you want.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, you got to check out the YouTube channel, man. It's pretty slick.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite projects that I've done.
That's
That's
nice.
kind of like the bar top on my tiki bar.
Right.
What's the name? John Desser, you'll be making dentures next.
Hey, if I can figure it out, I will. I got a couple more ones I need to change.
Like Louis Lee wood veneers.
Top. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh man.
You can do floors too. They got epoxy for floors. You can make the floors look marble or whatever you want.
You remember that? You ever see that girl? Not change subject, but you remember that girl from? I think you know her, Lewis. She was at Nelson's booth. Cheryl Lynn. She was on Overhauling with Chip Foose.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you see what she's making? That what she's coming out with? She's making a pedal, right? Where for hydraulic clutches, where you don't have to go through the firewall. It's like it's just a regular pedal that sits inside. All the stuff is encased inside.
Oh, and then runs the hose out.
I'm not sure how it works. Well, no, you don't have to, because right now, like when I had my Chevelle, I had to get a bracket that sandwiches between the firewall and the brake booster. And off of that, it came with like that's where you put your hose and your pedal would come through the floor and you hook it up to your pedal, and then the other end would go to the master cylinder, slave cylinder. And so that's how you would work that. But he got a method where you don't have to go that whole route. You don't have to drill a hole or anything like that. You might have to have a hole just for the hose to get to the transmission. But
yeah.
So the master cylinder is part of the pedal assembly.
It's part of the pedal. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tilton makes pedals like that.
But how do you?
Really?
I mean,
I
that's
never
gotta be
heard
how do you fill that? You're under the dash. How do you fill
It's all
that?
under the dash. Yeah.
Well, they have like a remote fill.
Well, I mean, I know that for Tri-5 Chevys, they make a master that mounts sideways, vertically under the dash, for a real custom car. And again, I feel like you gotta there's you take the speaker grill out and you fill it. I don't know what the hell you do because it sits way up there. I've never worked on one. I don't really see it.
The master, it's a real small master because it doesn't have to move a lot of fluid.
Right.
No.
It's part of the pedal, and you either fill it there or they have a hose and you have a remote bottle up, higher up inside the dash.
That's what you have to do. Yeah. But I mean, getting to that is the question.
Yeah.
I mean, I know under my dash, I don't have a lot of room for
No.
stuff like that.
Well, yeah. If you had a remote thing like John's saying, you could have it anywhere really in the glove box.
It could be anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I'm like just looking at this car here, there's like this much room between the bottom of the dash and where the pedals are. Where the steering column comes through the firewall. There's a lot of space for you to put a tiny little remote, reservoir there. You can get right.
Well, like the Chevy, you have to go and put that bracket that goes from like that hold the steering column and goes through the firewall to 4 bolts.
Right.
And then
you probably have something that's either a top mount or a floor mount.
It could.
Like Tilton makes a set of pedals that you could buy, brake, clutch, the whole deal, and it could be floor mounted, or you can flip the bracket around and you can mount it up by the steering column. So they're hanging pedals or floor mounted pedals. And the literally bolted right to the front of it.
That's pretty slick.
You can either slam it against the firewall. If you don't have the leg room, you put it up against the firewall. You put the reservoirs out on that, on the engine compartment side.
Right.
If you got room, if your seat is back far enough, you could just mount them directly behind the firewall, and everything stays inside.
Terry, how does the actuation feel on the hydraulic clutch that you put in your Chevelle?
I like it. It depends also what kind of clutch you're doing. I mean, like you can have like a soft clutch. Like if you have a center force, you forget it. I mean, well, people say center force is okay.
What did you use?
I have a McLeod. I have a McLeod clutch in there, and
a diaphragm.
It's not as heavy as it's not as soft as a Honda, but it is soft. It's nice. You don't have to have a foot like Sasquatch.
So it's a diaphragm clutch. It's a diaphragm pressure plate.
Yep. Now on my 80s E28, when I went to the T56, I didn't have hydraulic. I used the Z bar, and that was again, I get out that car, after like going to just the 7-Eleven, my calf is like all huge. Because that
foot starts shaking.
I used to keep lower clutch rods pre-adjusted in my console because every time I would power shift the car, I'd bend one. And I have the clutch in my shed. It's the Chrysler Green clutch. It's a Hemi clutch, 3-finger. It's not a Borgenbeck. It's a Borgenbeck design with roller assists under the fingers, and like in the hat, if you look at where the springs are, most clutches have springs like every other hat. This has double springs in every position. So it was like a 3,500 pound pressure plate, which was like I think 50 or 60 something pounds at the clutch, which is ridiculous. Like you said,
that's a pretty heavy base.
it's ridiculous. So, and now I went to a diaphragm, but I found the trick. I finally blueprinted the clutch system, and I kept the stock Z-bar because I was going to do something. I still might someday. I wanted to go with a cable clutch, a cable actuated clutch, because I didn't want to use I didn't want to use hydraulic. Because if the bearing ever goes, you got to pull a tranny to just change the freaking bearing.
Cables are a pain in the neck, though.
And I don't typically like the feel of a hydraulic clutch. So I was going to use, I got a quadrant out of a Mustang that I was going to weld to the top of my clutch pedal to pull the cable. And I have a bell housing out of a Monza, which takes the cable, gives the cable amount. I just never got to finish that project. The car was progressing. I said, okay, let me go with what I have. I put all the Z-bar stuff in, but I just like bulletproofed it. I put it in. I was checking stuff with squares and levels, and it is such an easy clutch to use. It just feels so nice. So the answer to that is I'm going to forget all about it and just leave it because it's good. But I may get back to that other idea one day. I don't know.
The stock GM stuff is really easy to just do a couple of little modifications to it.
Right.
You know, like I wound up the guy that did the work with me that turned me on to that. That stock little rod that's threaded that goes from the Z-bar to the bell housing. All he did was just welded 2 tabs on the arm on the bell housing, and then used 2 Heim joints left and right.
Sure.
And a 7/16 tube that was threaded left hand, right hand with jam nuts. So now you have an actual piece of linkage that would go from the Z-bar directly to the arm coming out of the bell housing. And he didn't even put a bolt in there. He just put a quick pin.
Yeah.
And
I built this out back
through the firewall.
I think when I worked on a friend's car back in the 80s, and then I saw what I had to do. It was like 2 words, Trans Am. Because what Chevy and Pontiac did is they had the rod with the sliding thing, which was a piece of crap. The Trans Ams had a 2-piece affair, and I have them in the other room. I could go get them. It's a hollow tube that's threaded, and the other rod threads into it with a jam nut.
Right.
I just ran right to Pontiac and just bought that. It was so much stronger than the other stuff. I mean, the Heim joint is the next step up. That's
I had what you just talked about is what came on my car.
Beautiful.
He upped it to the Heim joint deal, and then he did the same thing from the Z-bar to the pedal.
Yeah.
Just made a rod, and he actually had to put a little bend in it.
I was going to say, that always has a contour in it. Yeah.
Right. And then it was left hand, right hand, and 2 jam nuts, and you just kind of spun it, got rid of all the play.
The thing I didn't know, I finally researched it, and the thing I never knew doing this stuff was when you look at the Z-bar, the arms have to be set at specific angles, static. And if they're not, you're never going to get it right. And I never knew that. So I always had the wrong crap, right? Once I sat there, like I said, I used just a protractor, set it up the right angle, and then made the rods fit that. And it was like, holy crap, I've been missing this all these years. Like,
because
if you had the fender off the car, it's like you're looking at the one going to the firewall is at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
One down at the bottom is at 7 o'clock.
And you know what?
Because that way, when you move them, they don't go over center.
All the years that I worked on it in the car, it was in the car. Now, when I did it, the nose was off, and that's exactly how I was looking at it. And I said, "Oh, wow, you can really see this easy now."
Yeah. If you start out with 12 and 6,
because the part with the frame, is kind of notched, so you have room to move that.
Right.
The part the Z-bar can go up and down because it's a notch like that. You know.
But what I did is I actually finally looked at a factory service manual, and I looked at what they recommended, and the factory usually knows how to do it right. You know, and that was it. So,
it's funny you guys said that. I'm gonna
put a gusset on each of those bars on the Z-bar.
Yeah.
Put a little triangular gusset, keeps them from flopping around in the wind.
Right. What are you gonna do, Lewis?
I'm gonna take the whole front end off, and so I can get to everything. I'm not gonna play around, dude.
The whole nose, one shot.
Take it all off. You're better off that
one. Take the bumper off first, and then just pull that nose in one piece. Just get a friend. You know, it's easy if you pull the hood off because that's kind of heavy. Mm-hmm. engine,
it's big dog.
the core support, all in one shot.
That hood must take like 3 people to move.
Yeah, it's big.
That's a lot of hood.
That's
that
a
is
Honda
wild.
sitting on the motor.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's the thing that's the most amazing when you think about these older cars, GM, Ford, Chrysler. Everything was big and heavy, yet it was all done on the assembly line.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it didn't matter. This is what we're building. You know.
You know,
You look
I'm
stuff
looking
today.
at my car under my fenders with the bumper off under the fenders. There's these little rounded splash shields. It's just a stupid little piece of tin that's a splash shield. 4 bolts hold this thing on. It's like, holy shit. On a modern car, that'd be like a couple of plastic clips and they'd be done.
Yeah.
They put
Yeah.
4 5/16 bolts on each side. I was like, holy crap. No wonder the car weighs 3,600 pounds.
Sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, if you just went through and this nickel and dime that little stuff, man, how much weight you could lose.
Oh. Well, it's like a race car. Just like, take it out.
Take it out.
Fiberglass. Yeah.
Hey, Mark Mathat's in the house. Yeah, we just talking about you, Mark.
We're just talking about you. Yeah.
That's right.
He must be taking a cigarette break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I've been talking to a guy to come build a garage in front of my garage and like up against it, so I can stretch it. One of those metal ones, you know what I mean? So I'm waiting on him to get back to me with a price, so I can really take the car apart, and have room to work. You know what I mean?
You know what? The general rule is if you're going to take one car apart, you need at least a 3-car garage.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I did it in a car and a half, so it can be done.
Yeah,
it can be
and
done.
My garage has a upstairs too.
Nice.
Good.
So, but the pull down ladder thing, man, is so rickety. I'm scared to touch it.
Oh yeah.
So I got to rebuild it. I'm gonna take all the hardware off and put some real wood on it.
How big is the wall up there?
It's probably 6 foot. It's
nice.
pretty roomy.
Cool.
So
I
whoever
have
lived here must have been a little tiny guy,
I
because this
don't
ladder,
want
man. I weigh 100 pounds, and I'm scared to get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
My one leg weighs 100 pounds.
You got to send a kid up.
Yeah.
Recon.
There you go.
Take a light.
Speaking of which, man, your son looks just like you. I was like, look at little Lewis.
Brother, my daughter looks even more like me.
Oh man,
Junior was
Lewis.
Lewis Jr. was a regular here years ago. He was on with us every week.
He messed around, got married.
I miss him. I follow his stuff on Twitter. He puts some insightful. He makes me think, man. It makes my head hurt because he puts stuff up that makes you think.
Yeah, he does.
I want to laugh. I don't want to think.
Yeah, he really does. Good kid, man. He just put a bid in on his first house.
Very
So
good.
waiting on that to come back.
Good.
So hopefully he gets that. But he's doing well.
Yes.
God
Yep.
bless.
A lot better than I was doing at that age.
Yeah.
He's on top of the world.
That's what it's about. God bless.
Yep.
What's he doing for work now?
He works Key Bank. He's the
The bank. Okay.
He's the social media marketing manager, and they
Oh,
created the job for him, so they don't know if he's doing it right or wrong because he's the first one there doing it.
I'm part of an unemployment scam through like the whole county, county workers at least. It's actually nationwide, and I'm part of it. And one of the things I got was a debit card from Key Bank. That's a phony. It's a Fugazi, but they're getting everybody involved in this, and they work on percentages. If they could get I think a 10% yield on all the stuff they throw out is big. If they could get a 10% yield, I think a 1% is even they figure that's good if they can hit. But so now I'm doing credit checks, freezing credit, and all this stuff. You gotta watch your stuff. Next thing you know, somebody else owns your house. It's not
right.
room anymore.
I think that's the new big thing is people taking people's houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear the ads for like homelock.com
Right.
and all, and they always give you the deal at the end. The lawyerese that you can't always guarantee any of this, but it's like none of it should happen. In other words, if it gets to that point, you should be able to prove the house was yours because you got the closing papers and you didn't sell the house. And basically you should be able to tell whoever thinks that they, got your house on a quit claim on the black market to go F themselves. Because if something like that happens by me, there's going to be dead bodies laying.
You know what else they do, John?
I ain't dealing with it.
What else? I mean,
They were live.
They sent me,
it's okay. I don't
they
care.
sent me documents, man, with my full social security number on it, my annual salary. I mean, they had all sorts of information on me.
Yeah.
As a scam thing. But what they do is they don't take your house. What they do is they take loans against your principal. So now you're on the hook for the money because they're in the wind, and you're on the hook because it's under your name.
Yeah,
so that's why you got to like even this thing. I got the debit card because they tried to make an automatic transfer, and it was blocked. There was something on one of my accounts that blocked it. So now this is the next step. So you just got to be diligent. Always check your accounts, check your credit card accounts, check your checking account. Yeah. Make sure that it's unfortunate.
There's like so many things that I have huge issues with, in the banking industry in general. It's like every one of us, our lives are basically run by the 3 credit reporting agencies. Okay, so you want to refinance the house, so you go and you start talking to banks about refinancing, and you get, what's it going to wind up being, what's the interest rate, what's the terms, the whole 9 yards. They go and they check your credit. So now they consider that a hard hit, which will stay on your credit for more than a year, and it'll lower it as much as 3 to 5 points. So then if you have a credit monitoring company watching your stuff, automatically you get the email from them. Oh, your credit dropped by 5 points. It's like, really? I'm trying to get a goddamn loan. Stuff like people checking for your loan, that should not hit your credit.
Yeah,
if it does come back up, though, it comes back up pretty fast.
Then it should hit your credit, because now, your debt has gone up. But you could go to 4 or 5 banks to try and get a refi, and you get hit 4 or 5 times, and there are 4 or 5 hard hits. Then you get stuff like all your credit card companies routinely check your credit, and that's a soft hit, and that's good for 2 points, and that stays on your credit report. It doesn't drop off for 8 months. I've been doing a lot of research on this, and it's like, dude, you know what I'm doing. I got the credit card with you. You know what the balance is, if there is any balance. Why are you continually checking my credit?
It's part of the good old boy network.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Somebody's getting money somewhere.
Yeah.
Nobody's staying at 800. You work your butt off to get up to that 800 number for awesome credit.
What does that mean?
Some jack will hit your credit, and then boom, all of a sudden you're down to like 780.
Well, listen, if somebody hits my credit, they're going to be really pissed because mine is through.
What's yours?
They're like, what is wrong with this guy? We got to send him some money.
What is the max that it could go up to? I was wondering about
800.
Like 860 or something.
Yeah, no, I'm over 800. I'm like 815. So I was wondering, like, does it go to 1,000 or is it 9? Like, what is it like? And what does that mean anyway?
It only means something to them.
But yeah, that's I'm curious. Like, what is it? Is there a rhyme or reason? Is there anything we
And it's ridiculous because, again, they basically are another string attached to our puppet heads. Like what was it, like 2 years ago? Equifax got banged by some internet hacker.
Yep.
And then like 8 months later, they send you the letter. Oh yeah, by the way, we had a information dump.
The guy in Taiwan.
Yeah, I've had that happen with the bank that I use, and they send it to you after the fact, and it's like, well, who was it? Oh, well, we can't tell you that. What do you can't tell me that? Somebody.
John, you gonna take a ride by his house?
Yeah, right. To prevent drive-bys.
Hey, you know what? Drive-bys work at certain points.
You're right.
We're in that phase where drive-bys can work.
Hey Terry, for LS Motor, what transmission do you suggest? What would be your first pick?
I like a 56 or either T56. I always go 6
speed or 5-speed Lanco.
Well, I can't be shifting and hitting switches. I gotta have automatic.
A 4L.
I wouldn't do any unless you wouldn't got a 4L70 worked, like get it redone. I would get a 4L80. I wouldn't even mess around with that big car. I wouldn't even mess around. 4L80. 4L80 or better. I mean,
where do they come in? Pickup
They're
trucks?
in the trucks, the SUVs. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all
If
over
you want to make horsepower, that's the one to use.
Yeah.
Well, even just for just for putting the torque down. I mean, you're not going to be hot rodding that thing, but they're all over the place.
Well, I've just seen my boy popped up here, Yelper, and he's in my car club. And listen, those boys are not playing. Everybody in the car club's over 600 horses except me.
So what are you talking to us for? You should be talking to them.
Man, these boys ain't playing.
we can get you there now.
Right.
Easy.
Get you there now.
Twin turbos, whatever you want. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I was looking at
all
some
you need
turbo
the
kits.
checkbook, man. It's all you need, and you can get whatever you want tonight.
Yeah.
Now they're open. The internet's open.
Well, listen, Summit's down the street from me. I just roll down to Summit.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, I gotta call them. I got some connects there. I need to. I'm gonna try to get some sponsor stuff going with them. Summit Racing.
You gotta tell your hook over there to get you an ATEC account.
What's that?
ATEC is Summit's wholesale division.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
They didn't give them out to everybody, but they're good to have.
I might be able to do something. I'll make a call this week coming up because Terry's got me on a mission.
I got my ATEC account last time we were at SEMA. I went and turned out to be the same guy that was selling me stuff when I had the chassis shop.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
Like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I'm like, looking around at some stuff. He goes, well, let me know. And I'm like, well, I can't buy from you. He's like, why? I go, because you guys, all you big guys, you got minimums and stuff.
Yeah.
Monthly or yearly minimums. No. You're an old customer. I'll hook you up. I'm like, you're the man.
Oh, yeah. I'm making calls.
Yeah.
I can't be paying.
Sure. What he said wasn't. Oh yeah, it's because you're old and you've been a customer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of money with them.
It's okay. You get that discount.
Terry, I was thinking of you, man. You had a feel of love this week. Because I tell you something, I was reading I read a lot of old magazines. And the one I was reading an old Popular Hot Rodding from 75, and they covered the Nomad Nationals out in Colorado. It was like a Tri-5 and I'm looking at these. The 56s will grab me. I was like, damn, I really do have a soft spot for the 56. And we're looking at with a tilt nose and no bumper, and I always like the trim on the 56.
Straight and clean.
So I was thinking, I said, boy, if Terry could see me now looking at this, he'd be like, oh my God, all over the place. But yeah, loving it.
It's straight and clean 56. I say it and I keep on saying it.
With a 55 build, yeah.
Like something's missing. It looks like something's missing. 57 looks like it's a little too much in that front end. 56, sweet.
See, I'm not even talking about the front. I'm talking about the side trim as well.
Even the whole car. The whole car is beautiful.
I've seen one today. I seen a 56 today, man. It was really nice. I wanted to pull over and stop, but I was on a mission. Couldn't even stop and talk to him.
Did you see the pictures of Glenn Hunter's 56? He's at Maple Grove.
No.
Race this week. He's like all over Facebook. That's a 200,
red and white,
200 mile an hour street car.
What is it?
You got him doing wheelies all over the place.
Yeah, a good friend of mine from Long Island.
That was his grandmother's car.
Yes.
Hey, Granny, can I borrow your car?
Actually, how I know that.
He had it with a small block. He had it with a big block. He had it with a blower. Now he went to twin turbos, and the car goes to drag week every week. It's a 200 mile an hour street legal car.
Is he all steel?
It's all steel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, steel bumpers, full steel body. There is not one piece of fiberglass on that car.
Because there's a picture in this magazine of a guy with he's got it's a two to a hardtop, no front bumper, and he's carrying the wheels. This is back in 75.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive.
No. He's got a big block with twin turbos, and it's all steel.
Yeah.
And the thing about Glenn, I met Glenn at Pink's All Out last year was? At Pink's All Out. And I met, and you know what it is? His whole family was in it. And he had a couple of his best friends there. All the boys were there. And you know, they're good people, man.
He's a super nice guy, and he owns a place in Northport called Hunter's Garage.
I've seen that
little automotive shop right near the Northport Railroad Station. He's been there forever.
Is that on 25A?
No, it's on Larkfield Road.
Larkfield, okay.
Hunter's Garage.
Places up that way. Yeah,
great guy. Went to Northport High School.
Yeah, and he had another friend there. He has a friend there with the. I'm going to say he had a 34.
Oh, Scott with the 34 coupe.
That's him. He was there too. Those guys were going back and forth, and I was egging it on. I was like, "Yo, Scott, man, well, this car's faster than yours, you know."
Over this past winter, Scott took his car to a friend of mine in Connecticut, and he had a whole new back half put in it with a killer like pro stock 4-link system and a sheet metal housing. And he just put a 1471 blower on it.
Wow.
So he
went.
went.
To find that video. Hold on.
Took the car to Atco last week. Very, very first pass off the trailer, he went straight into the 8s.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find that video.
He also has a custom chopper with the same paint job as the 34.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really nice. You've seen him. He goes to OBI with the car all the time. He always flies the American flag off the parachute mount.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a really cool car.
Yeah.
This is it right here.
Good stuff. Just went past OBI last week. Took my wife for a drive out. We went to Captree.
Yeah.
Cruise out. And I said, yeah, there's where the OBI used to be. He knows what got by it.
I spent many drunk nights in that place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For some reason, I got a sexy woman in my studio. I mean, her kitchen.
Nothing to complain about there.
Here it is right here. You can see it?
Nice.
That's the color.
Sweet.
That's him.
What's the brand of that front wheel? I've seen those around a lot. Who makes those?
Nice wheel.
Forge Light?
I don't know.
I'll tell you right now. Hold on a sec.
This is a nice looking wheel.
Yeah.
It looks like slot.
It looks good on the right car.
You know, I've seen a wheel that almost looked like that, but it's more. It has more spokes. It almost looks like a spoke wheel, but it's a rim.
Wow.
And I can't find them anywhere. I've been looking around. I went to wheel places. It really looks like a spoke wheel, but it's a rim.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here you go. Here you go, John. There's the boy right there. Scott right there. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get it. I was talking. I think that's what's the name? Glenn's wife.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, there's Scott. He's an awesome machinist. He's got a beautiful machine. He does a lot of aircraft stuff and military stuff.
Yeah, we were chopping it up. We had a good time out there, man.
Yeah.
That whole. If you get a chance to go to that Pink's All Out, like with Brian Pasone, definitely do it. Definitely do it. It's fun, and they feed you well, especially when you go in the back pit. Woo!
They were going to do the race at Dover, right?
That was at Atco. That was at Atco.
When we talked to him over the winter, he did something at Dover, I think.
Yes, but I think with the COVID, I'm not sure what happened. But
no, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm telling you, they feed you well, man. And Pasone was like, "Yo, get a helmet and put that ZL1 on the track." I was like, if I hadn't promised my mother, I just got that ZL1, and she was just like, "You don't know the car, don't get on the track." And I was like, "I'm not. Leave your helmet."
You know, this may be the last year.
I wouldn't be on the track.
Did you hear that, Terry?
I'm sorry?
This may be the last year for Atco.
I heard. Yeah, I heard.
Oh,
I heard. So I don't know what's next. What's Island?
I don't know. That
Thunder Valley
part is like looking around at racetracks for room to put junk cars.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I had a picture of that rim and I can't find it. There are way too many pictures.
But living here in Florida, we don't worry about that because we got drag strips everywhere,
All over the place.
all over the place. They're building a brand new one.
Really?
Yeah, it's about a 40-minute ride north. They already put in the donut pit.
Uh,
It's
The
a
donut
big giant piece of concrete slab, and then it's got the Jersey barriers all the way around it.
Here it is.
Just go in there and do
oh,
donuts.
yeah.
Oh wow,
That
Looks
looks
like a
good on a
turban.
caddy. Yeah.
That's pretty nice, right?
that's really
That would look
nice.
great on a caddy.
Yeah, and I can't find them. I've sent stuff to a lot of people, and they're like, I don't know whose room that is.
Right, right.
It might be a custom because, people were doing the CNC
That
stuff.
might be from one of those companies that went out of business, like Western Wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
not
that was
just like on those. You see those on those suicide door Lincolns. Like see people tweaking those out like.
Oh, you know what I'm
24
gonna do? I used to work at the speed shop on the island, and every year they would put out this giant catalog called the
Yeah.
Big Book.
Yep.
I'm gonna look around in the Big Book in the wheel section and see if something like that's in there. It kind of looks like a wheel that was by a company called Western Wheel, and they're gone long ago.
I'm going to
Yeah.
kick myself. Oh.
I used to have one right here.
No, I'm going to tell you what. I've been going through these old magazines, and what I do is instead of saving them, now I just cut out the articles and the ads that I want to save. And there was one that had all these different pages of all the wheel manufacturers, Superior,
Right.
Western, and and Kreger and all. This one I saved the whole thing because they did a whole article on the Corvette,
Wagon.
the wagon.
I remember that.
There's a whole article on how to build the vet wagon, so I saved that. But I don't think I saved those wheel pages.
You ever see the second gen Firebird wagon?
Yes,
That's an abomination.
it's not so bad.
Oh man! But the third
I don't
one,
We
We were talking about the thrush mufflers last week, John.
There you go.
Yeah, cherry bombs.
Oh yeah, I had cherry bombs. Cherry bombs were awesome.
I'm cutting out old ads here.
I think they still make those.
Yeah, they
anytime
probably,
you can name a ice cream after a muffler, that's good.
Or a
Well,
rock and roll song.
yeah.
Thrush.
Hush thrush.
Remember how those thrushes, the paint used to burn after about 15 minutes? They look like hell.
Yeah.
Hey, but I want to get back on the racetrack. My boy, he does 9.7 in a quarter mile.
What's
Yeah.
he driving?
He's driving an 84 Caprice Classic 2-door.
That's ridiculous.
A box?
Listen, listen.
Ridiculous. Is
And
right.
he has the bench seat in it. The comfy couch seat. They
Yeah.
call it
Dude,
the comfy
that's
couch.
awesome. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
a
he
lot
put it
of
over
power to go that fast.
It is.
It's a beast, man. I've been trying to talk him to put in a roll cage because he won't put a roll cage in it.
He should have one at that speed. I mean, that's
Yeah.
You wouldn't be
I mean, they shut you down, man. You going that fast? That's you got to do that time at the last. That's your last run.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The brakes.
Yeah,
That ain't no joke, man.
Don't you need a roll bar like 1050?
It's under
Yeah.
11, under
Right.
11 in a bar, and then you go into the different stages of cages.
Sure.
Well, they all know him around here now, so
Yeah.
you can't sneak in the track.
Right.
But you know what? All those boys that have those donks and those bubbles, man, those they got those Caprices going pretty fast. Those Impalas going, they're no joke, man.
Yeah. He said he gets kicked out a lot.
Yeah.
And he's not a little guy, man. The car, you know what I mean?
They do this thing at Bradenton where they have donk races.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, did you see the wheels fly off them things?
I'm dying to go one night. I just gotta go just to laugh because that's just
Listen.
pure comedy.
But listen, those guys are putting a lot of money in those cars. I hate them. Don't get me wrong. I hate them. But they're putting a lot of money in those cars.
The local chassis guy, I stop in there every now and then, say hi, see what he's building, and every now and then I'll see one of these donks in there. A 70s Impala, a big old Buick LeSabre. And I'm like, what are you
LS.
doing? And he's like, putting a roll cage and a rear end in it. The guy's putting a 1,000-horse blower motor in it. I'm like, why?
I'm telling you, those guys ain't messing around.
And
They're ugly as I hate them.
With these 24 and 26-inch tires, and I'm like,
Man, they're in the 30s.
what?
30.
Yeah,
Right. You got a sidewall.
Yeah.
rubber bands. Yeah.
Have you seen on YouTube when the wheels fall off?
No, I haven't seen
Oh
that.
man, they're having a lot of problems with things, man.
Well, yeah, it's all that reciprocating mass on just a little hub.
right.
And they sit stock. They sit like a gasser anyways, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a guy by me. He's got a Monte Carlo, and I like the car. It's a beautiful looking Monte, but it's sitting on like 30s. It's
terrible.
It just looks like a cartoon car, you know. It's like I just want to buy it so I can change the wheels.
I mean, you would think that if you're going to do these like big giant 30-inch wheels, that somebody, because these days everybody's got a 5-axis CNC. Is you go to SEMA, see, you haven't been there, right? You don't know, but we have. You walk through the wheel building. There's like 300 or 400 guys that are banging out billet wheels.
Yeah.
Of every size and width and design that you could think of, because it's a matter of finding a geek that knows how to program on a laptop, and then you shoot it over to the machine and you throw a chunk of billet aluminum in it and come back tomorrow and you've got a wheel.
Done.
But you would think these guys would go for like a wide 5-bolt circle, and then make a set of adapters so you can adapt a wide 5 to a standard and at least absorb some of that torque. But no, they just tear the centers out of these things.
Yeah.
You should see him, man.
That's what Nelson's daughter's going to be doing next year. She's going to be designing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And what I like seeing is these guys, and they have the spokes, like the bicycle spokes.
Oh, yeah, right. There's like 1,000 bicycle spokes.
And I'm just like, wow.
How do you adjust that to get those things with no wobble?
You got to
It's going to take like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You got to bring it to Schwinn.
Right?
I'll tell you, I got a buddy actually right now he's in jail in Virginia, but he's a motorcycle mechanic and he's also a club member. But I've watched him true spoke wheels, motorcycle rims, and it's like anything else. Once you do it enough, he just sits there and does it. You just like hits him with his finger, bing, 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 and he just like rips through them, man. He just would take somebody else all day, and he does it in like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
unreal.
He's not doing it now because I think he's like swabbing floors
or running.
No, he's set up.
They didn't let him out because of the COVID.
No,
really.
They gave him a deal. They were going to let him out with less time served and a little bit more, but he would have had to sign documents that he would not associate with known members of the club or any other clubs. And he said, "Fuck you." He's like, "Nah, I'll stay here."
Was he like a former pagan or something?
No, he's an active member in the other club.
Hells Angels.
Oh, never mind.
Unreal. Hey, did you notice they haven't said anything in the news the last couple of days of Jeffrey, what's his face's girlfriend?
Oh, right. Giselle.
Notice, right? Flash in the pan.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the announcement that she's dead.
She was in the newspaper because they sent it to the Manhattan Correctional Facility, same place he was.
Same place he was.
Right. Well, listen, Hillary just bought an apartment across the street from that prison.
Really? So she could oversee it easier?
No, she's a sniper.
Yeah, he could stay, go, stay, go.
There was a thing that I saw on my timeline today that some judge ruled that some group that has a whole bunch of paperwork files from that guy Jeffrey, that the judge has ordered them to destroy that evidence.
Really?
And I'm like, wow. Tell me that dude's not on the Clinton payroll?
Yeah.
Why would a judge tell a group that's trying to, sue this guy's estate that that stuff's all inadmissible and it needs to be destroyed?
Wow.
That's a judge on the take.
Yeah, it is.
And nothing will get done about it.
Right now.
Nothing will get done because you can't do anything about it.
That's crazy.
You're going to take out a judge?
Well,
But you know,
It's
down
happened.
in,
obviously that.
down in Mexico they do.
It's happened. It's happened here.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Right, fellas. I'm gonna let Brian in. I gotta jump ship.
Let someone else in because I got to go and finish this car up.
What are you working on this late at night?
Now I got to finish up. Like I said, I got to change the blower motors for the Trailblazers because I got to go and I got to drive that thing tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
You got a storm coming your way, brother.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what I know. I'm,
It's coming up.
I got to take care of some stuff and
Say by daybreak we should already be underwater. So
yeah. How bad is the storm? Wait a second. Hold on. How does John know about that?
because it's coming from the south. It's coming up. It's going to hit Cape Hatteras tonight, and it's going to hit us by morning.
Rumors. Yeah.
I watch the 6 o'clock weather every night.
Yeah.
The same thing. My wife watches Fox all day, all night, and I tell her about the weather. She was going to go to Queens tomorrow to her mother's house. I'm like, she's like, what do you mean? What's going on? I'm like, don't you? I said, put on News 12 once in a while.
Yeah.
Why is the whole weather map red? The
Uh-oh.
whole map was turned red.
That ain't a good sign.
That means you're in trouble.
Yeah, duck.
Maybe it's a nuclear warning. I don't know. That's
No, don't say that.
that's
So
not it.
I watch the news every night while I'm eating so I can get the COVID death count.
There you go.
Got to know how many thousands of people died today.
What you say
That's what we
help
talked
to help
about.
with digestion.
So depressing.
Well, hey,
And
Terry has.
I found a video that I posted on my Facebook page about with some politician doing a little inside speech and giving up all of the info about if you have a heart attack, but we test you after you die at the coroner's and you got COVID, then your death certificate says you died from COVID.
Ah,
If you fell off a cliff and we stuck the thing up your nose at the coroner's office and you had the COVID, then you died of COVID. So they're saying now that fully 35 to 40% of the death count is absolute bullshit.
false. Yeah. Well.
But, you know, the press is going to go, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Right. Hey, Terry has a lady that we're trying to get on for next week. So
Yes.
hopefully we'll have a
Who's
hot
that,
guest.
Terry?
Her name is Ray Ripple. She is the truth. She's tattooed. She's a welding artist.
Awesome.
And she's a motorcycle rider. Matter of fact, look her up on Facebook, Ray Ripple, and on Instagram. She's sitting up there doing the Indian Larry.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, she is no joke. We're gonna try to get her out here. And
How do you know her?
I knew her from Instagram, and then when I went on vacation, she happened to been her and her boyfriend happened to have been in the same hotel I was in. I was like, wait a second, Ray. You know, so it was the same. It was a small world.
You know,
But,
that happened to me at the Syracuse Nationals. I come down to the lobby and there's Danielle Colby from American Pickers sitting there eating some pie. I'm like, hey, Danielle. Very nice. Sat there and talked to her for a while. That was cool.
Yeah, she's a really sweetheart, but she is like, just look at her welding art. She does a lot of welding art. She can CNC machine and all that, CNC machine.
Is she an R-A-E? Is that how you spell her name?
R-A-E, yeah. R-A-E.
R-I-P-P-L-E?
Hold on a sec. I'll tell you right now. Hold on a sec.
So we're going to try to get her on next week if possible.
Let's see. She might be on a different name. Let's see. Ray.
There it is on Instagram.
Yep, Ray Ripple. He says, I weld and eat donuts.
Does she own a Ripple wine company too?
Now, she don't own that, but let me see if I can get something going on here. Hold on a sec. Let me see. But she is the truth. Where is it? Let me try to find that video real quick of her doing the Indian Larry. Oh, here she is.
Oh, she's being followed by Tori. And Lewis, Lewis, you're following her.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. And she this is her art. This is what she just built. Where is it? That sign on the side of the building.
Oh wow. Calf's head.
Yeah, man.
Where's she based out of, Terry?
She's out of Texas.
Texas. Okay.
Yeah, she's in Texas, like in the desert.
Right.
Yeah, really cool people. She's also a friend of Dwayne Maddox, so I really met her. I met her by him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Dwayne Maddox.
Yeah, we gotta get Dwayne back on too. He got some stuff popping.
Ah, that truck. You know how hard I'm getting him? I said, yo, try to put an LS in that thing. Let's do it. Give it to me for a weekend. But you know how he is. He's just like, no, Terry, we're gonna leave it just the way it is, you know.
I'm trying to get down there to his place. He's putting together a forge class. And me and my wife want to take the class, so I need to get with him to see when we get down there. That the virus messed us up.
Wow, yeah, virus messed everything up, man.
Yeah, put a hit on us.
Yeah, but I got to get ready to go in the garage. I got to change this thing up, and I got to finish up a video. So you'll be seeing a video. So you'll be like, oh, that's the video Terry's working on.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm jumping too, but I'm gonna get Brian on. If anybody else wants to jump on, let me know.
Gentlemen,
I'll see you guys next week.
Night,
All
Terry.
right.
Work safe.
Take care. Lewis, we'll talk. Everyone
Yes,
in the
sir.
room, be easy.
See
Give
ya.
me that bell.
You can ring my bell. Ring my bell.
That guy's the best. Love him.
Who's that?
Coverman 66.
Oh, Terry. Yeah,
He's awesome. Oh,
he gets a lot done.
of course.
He does get a lot done. I got to appreciate that. I
Louis, you
respect
got a big mention on the radio show the other 2 weeks ago.
Oh, what show?
that. What show?
Motormouth Radio?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
commenting on your talk up, how you talk up like when there's a guest on here and you give me the talk up. I was commenting on what a good talk up it is, and I said I want to isolate it and use it in a promo
With
because
Austin.
it really makes
Oh, yeah.
makes it sound good.
Yeah.
Oh man, Ray, you the man, shoot.
It was that worldwide comment.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll send you the replay, or you can go back and get it. You can go back on here. And
That's
get
what
the
I got to
replay.
do. I got to go back and clip it. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, folks. I tried to get off. I don't know why I popped back up.
Just drag me back in.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys next week.
What's
All
up
right.
there in the corner? I just see like blue.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think that was what Terry left.
Wow.
And I was waiting for him to reconnect. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
I got a very light day tomorrow, which means I can come back and work on the Camaro.
That's good because you're getting closer to being done, which is good.
My parts list is down to I think like 5 things.
Wow.
I still have assemblies to do, but in terms of I have to. Well, I got to get antifreeze, power steering fluid, brake fluid, rear end, grease, oil. I need a Optima red top battery.
Mhm.
I need a Turbo 400 heavy duty 1350 series slip yoke and a
Right.
drive shaft.
Right.
What else do I need? I need the 3 knob controller for the air conditioning.
Right.
And
It's
I
funny too.
need a wiring harness.
You know, one of these old magazines, I saw an ad for that battery we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. What the hell was the name of it? It was the one that Sears sold. What the hell?
Oh yeah, the Incredicell.
Yeah, there was an ad for the Incredicell. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
here it is.
When I was doing the car, I wanted to put small but strong batteries in,
Yeah.
and I ran up the road from where I lived. There used to be a big Sears mall there on the corner of Jericho and Larkfield.
Right. Yeah.
And I went into the auto
I
department
know that store. Yeah.
and I looked at the batteries and I found the one. Those batteries, they were 850 cold cranking amps.
Wow. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't have a really long reserve. It was like a 56-minute reserve.
Right.
But I'm like, that's okay. I just need the cold cranking amps,
Yeah.
And then I always did that thing. I'll probably wind up doing it on this version again too. Is I go to the boat supply and I buy one of those boat switches for the batteries, off 1, 2, or both,
Right.
and I wire everything in. And I usually, just wind up keeping the number 2 battery shut down, but it's always charged.
Right.
And if you ever need it, you just flip that switch.
Yeah.
It's like having an onboard, quick start.
So there's the Incrediman, the Incredimatco man. What's that? A Ford shifter behind you, Brian? Is that the Mustang
Oh, yeah.
shifter? I recognize the lockout in the ball.
Yeah, it's a factory top loader, or factory 4-speed.
Right.
Very nice.
Gonna put that in the Mako truck?
No.
You should do that right up on the dashboard.
Yeah, just mount it. Doesn't have to do anything.
Big old rat fink thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or mount it up in the ceiling and tell everybody that's your parachute lever.
I did that. I got shift handles all over the place. So I built a wooden shelf that I put the stereo on, and I had a Hurst handle with a T handle on it. I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? So I just took it and I just screwed it to the side, so it just sticks out like a parachute thing. I'm like, people come in like that, and I see them looking at it, like trying to figure out what it's doing up there. But yeah.
But hey, John, real quick, you just want to suck, put the AC on the vacuum and suck it down to 29. You'll never pull a perfect 30.
No.
Pounds. And you just pull it down for about 20 minutes or so, and you can just suck it down for about 20 minutes, let it hold for 5 to make sure everything's good, and then you can refill the system.
Well, my problem is I don't have an AC vacuum. I don't have any AC stuff. I don't have the gauges, the hoses, the whole deal.
So, I know a guy that has it all.
Yeah.
I have all that stuff.
And Harbor Freight sells it all too. It's cheap.
Tell me how much it is, and then I'll just take it from this guy's budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, you can buy a little triangle box that works off an air hose that creates a vacuum.
Oh yeah,
and it sucks down. I mean, you could get those at Harbor Freight for like $10, dude.
I haven't seen that.
Hook the compressor up, huh?
I haven't seen that. I know they have the vacuum pump, which is it's not that expensive. Maybe like $59 or something.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm talking about they got one that works off of Shop Air, and it's just like a little triangle box. It's got the way the air runs across, it creates a vacuum inside.
So yeah, the Bernoulli effect.
Right.
Yeah,
air across a tube creates a vacuum. Yeah. That's how fuel gets sucked through a carburetor down to Venturi. Air across the top creates a vacuum.
I got to buy, like the gauges and everything too. So.
Right.
All that, that stuff is really cheap, especially you're going to be running 134.
Yeah.
Is a converter. Yeah. So that stuff is all. You can go to Harbor Freight and under $100, you can buy all the stuff you need to do it.
Oh yeah. I haven't been going in there because it's China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
China. I'm trying to wean myself and ban China.
Well, but occasionally you have to, you
have no choice. You know what it is? You're just gonna have to live with it. Because you saw 2 weeks ago, I showed you that stuff I bought from Holly.
Yeah.
Made in China.
Sure.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Good American company like Holly, and you're buying crap from the communists, and then you're selling it to me.
Right.
It's a way of life. You ain't gonna get away with it.
Well, they crept in a long time ago, and they just, once they start creeping in and no one's looking, they keep on. Next thing you know, it's truckloads and container loads. It's freighters.
Well, it's it's based on money.
Yeah.
It's all based on money. Let's face facts. The Holly Corporation didn't have to go to China to get that stuff. They could have found somebody to do that shit here.
Right.
But it's all about, you know what? We could save 65 cents.
It's about maximizing profits.
It's you know what it's all about? It's because of the shareholders.
That too.
That's my biggest bitch.
Well, the thing is,
I have no love for shareholders of corporations.
The thing is, the guys at the top don't want to lessen their profits, so they got to pass it on. It's got to come from the bottom of the pyramid, just like the taxpayers. It's because it's never going to come from the top.
No.
That's why, when Trump will say, "Listen, you guys cut," he'll go right to the CEOs and say, "You guys take the hit. Do the right thing," and they don't like that. Hey,
the CEO is never going to take the hit.
Yeah.
Not happening. What are you going to do?
Brian, is that a bottle of Miller back there? Miller High Life or what? Over your other shoulder, right there. That bottle.
That's my hot sauce.
Oh, okay. Talk about a Miller High Life.
That's for that midnight snack, and I need a little spice.
Yeah.
I got a thing of hot sauce called Whoop Ass.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yep.
We had these beef pinwheels with the with some.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah,
with
we had
cheese and the spinach in them.
yeah had those on a barbecue tonight. Yeah, my wife roasted up potatoes and some beans. Oh, it
There
was
you
good.
go.
Good stuff. Yeah,
I had that a couple of nights ago.
yeah,
I love those.
yeah. Those are good. We had the chicken ones the other night. So
Very good. Awesomeness.
yeah,
All right.
good stuff. So what's new?
Good.
Brian? I've been watching Clay's videos. He's hitting this Mac guy pretty heavy. Mac, they're really showing the Mac stuff off crazy. But I'm waiting to see like the other stuff. Like, what's Mac go up to? Anything good?
Well, I mean, yeah. Clay. I like Clay, but he's going to have to watch it.
You think he's spreading too thin?
No, yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, that's fair. I brought that up to him in the past too. It's like, you really do kind of play all sides, which, hey, listen, we all use different stuff, and there's, that's okay. But yeah.
My toolbox is just like my country.
Diversified.
I have Snap-on. I have Mac. I have Matco. I have.
Nobody has a lot of Mac. Let's face it.
I have. Well, I have a bunch of Mac tools.
Do you?
When I bought the box, I was buying a bunch of Mac stuff.
Wow.
I have stuff from Harbor Freight. I have stuff from
Gotta have Craftsman.
Northern Tool.
Yeah.
I have some off brands. I have some stuff from Lyle that I got in like auto parts stores.
Lyle makes great stuff. I love
Yeah,
their
man.
electrical tools.
My toolbox, my Mac toolbox, it's vintage and it's a total mutt.
Yeah.
There's stuff in there from everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It works.
No. Well, I'm just saying politically, or his idea of I don't know how to really say it, but he's just it's going to get really interesting real soon. So
Yeah, we'll see.
somebody up the ladder is going to put a
The leash.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, what I see at least is he does very honest reviews. He calls it like it is. If it's something he likes, most of his stuff is more positive than negative. But if there's something he doesn't like, he will say it. And listen, we all have preferences. There's things we all don't like about different tools, and things he doesn't like, I may like. So nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's being honest.
Yeah.
But
I see behind the curtain. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you probably know more than the rest of us.
Huh?
No, you probably know more than the rest of us do, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's stuff behind the curtain that, like I said, it's just.
Well, you better call me one day and tell me about it, damn it. So I can watch what I do. Because I called him on the radio show once. I said, listen, you've self-claimed you have at the time 60 Snap-on ratchets. I mean, Christ, man, that's a lot of freaking ratchets for anybody. 60 ratchets. I mean,
Ratchet handles?
yeah. I mean, I only use like 2 or 3. I don't.
Yeah.
And then when he started doing the Matco stuff, he proclaimed Matco as being his favorite ratchet. Like, you're a tool guy. That doesn't count. Oh, there's the blue one. Oh, there's the blue one. That's the hot new one.
I've got a ratchet problem too.
Yeah, but that's your profession, dude.
Yeah, this is all old. I mean, this is all before. I mean,
Okay.
I got some stuff that's like 50 years old.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have some old Craftsman stuff like that.
But he started doing the Matco stuff, and he said, "Listen, I'm now proclaiming Matco. The Matco flex head, locking flex head, is now my favorite ratchet, and this is the one I go to. This is my go-to ratchet." Okay, that's fair enough too. That's fine too. But then he started hooking up with these Mac guys, and then he did a video, and he's saying, this is my new favorite ratchet. So I called him on a radio show. I said, and he had
I heard.
and he had the Mac guys listening, and I said, hey, listen, I've heard you pay allegiance to Snap-on, and then Matco, and now Mac. So which one is it? And he's like, no, I didn't say that, and I didn't go past that. I wasn't looking to nail him to the wall. I just wanted to throw it out there, and he had to pedal it a little bit. I was like, all right. That's what to myself I said, okay, you have to keep in. It's like having 3 girlfriends, and you got to remember which one you're talking to. You know,
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm just saying. He's got to watch himself.
yeah. Don't wear the same shirt twice because the other one saw you in it. You know, it's like, yeah.
You know, and like I said, it's some people take it a little bit more serious than others.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see.
And this when you upset corporate, then there's a problem.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean,
Never upset corporate.
I don't
mean,
know anything.
I mean,
But
even on that, I mean, if you upset corporate, you got a problem because you work for the company. But if a user upsets corporate, what are they going to do? Like not send the guy to your shop? I mean, I don't know. What are they going to do?
well,
Can't say, huh?
I've upset corporate before, and they sent me determination papers. So
Really?
Well, that's. I mean, you're an employee, but yeah, that you're not their employee, but you work for the company. Huh?
I'm not. I don't have anything to do with Matco other than a franchise.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You're not an employee, but you are affiliated with the company, so there are things you're assumed you should and shouldn't do. You know, we would agree on that, I think.
I've upset the apple cart before, and I've got determination papers sent to me.
That's wild. Tell them, take these papers and stick them up your ass. Well, that's what I mean. What are they going to do? They can't come take your truck. Your truck is your truck. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there's more to it than that.
They
But
can make it difficult.
yeah, I guess. There's always ways. We have ways.
You know what? Making it difficult for you on the long term makes it difficult for them.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless
they don't understand that right at the moment.
I mean, unless they can force you out and replace you with somebody else. You know?
Right.
Somebody that they can pay half the amount of money to.
Well, they never. It's very rare. I mean, they tried the employee on the truck, and that didn't work too well.
Yeah.
Because the employee has no loss. They have nothing to lose, and they're
Right.
talking about sell, and then you get a guy, and this is one of the Snap-on mentalities. Sell the guy $2,000 and collect $25 a week from the guy. And
Right.
you can't stay in business like that. But when you have somebody behind you just giving you product to say keep selling, and you don't have anything, you have no loss, then next thing you know, the guy owes you $5,000. He's paying you $20 a week, and he disappears.
Yeah.
Now you have a problem.
But that's what I see on Matco Michael's truck. I mean, they hone right in on it. Here's this beautiful toolbox. It'll say $25 a week. And it's like,
yeah.
And how long are you going to pay that thing off? You know, it's like
5 years, and that's under a corporate financing. That's not the guy.
right. Okay.
That's not through me, unless I want to hold the note.
Right.
I mean, I have the option to hold the note, and I can carry it, and then I'm liable for 100% of the box. But
yeah, if he skips, it's on you.
So on those
But-
corporate
but-
finance deals, do they
that
charge
stuff
like an
there,
insane interest rate? on those
well, it
corporate
depends.
deals?
Anywhere from 6.9 to was it 24?
Is that depending on
Yeah.
your credit?
20? Huh? It
Is
depending
that
on your
dependent
credit.
on your credit, your personal credit? Your
On a customer's credit, yeah.
because 6 isn't bad. I mean, 6% isn't bad.
No.
You know,
6 isn't bad at all.
I mean, especially if you could
Yeah.
throw chunks at it, and knock it down.
Sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, all of them. The only nice thing we're basically like a simple interest, so it's not compounded like the other guys. So you're not paying. You know what you're paying up front, and I tell guys, like a lot of times, I tell guys, all you gotta do is pay $5 to $6 more a week. It's like making an extra payment a month, and you've cut out X amount of payments, and you get it paid off.
I pay my tool guys like I pay my credit card. It's like, yeah, Take the whole thing. Take it in full. Pay it off. You know, it's just easier. You're gonna pay. Just do it. You know, it's the best way to do. I mean, I understand a lot of younger guys aren't in that position. You know, and but it's just better that way. You know.
I like the guys that say. I like the guys that tell me. I had a guy today do it. I had a guy today. He's like, "Man, I'm tired of owing you money. I'm gonna pay it off." I said, "Fine, pay it off." I don't know. It was $500-600. Pays it off. Man, 30 seconds before I could leave, that guy was back out racking that bill back up again.
Good.
I said, "You were going to pay me off." "Oh, man, I need this. I need this. I need this." And I'm like,
What?
Man.
What did he buy? What did he have to have that brought him back?
He needed a 1/4-inch ratchet. He needed 2 oil filter wrenches, a couple of sockets.
That's not
I
huge.
mean, he was right back.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was right back up to $280 or whatever.
All right, but that's I mean, 180 isn't 5, so now Matco, the new thing is that they're coming out. All the ratchets are going to be black now, huh?
No, that's just a short time. I mean, I don't think it's going to last very long.
Okay. No, I like the idea. I think they look great in black. It's I like it. Yeah, that's a cool looking ratchet. I like it in black.
Yeah, I don't know. They it might stick, but the biggest problem we're having, or not the biggest problem, but one of the complaints is that it wears off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It comes off.
You know,
And so I get them all beat up, and the guy goes, "Is this warranted?"
Is that what they call? Is that the finish they call black chromate?
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is on there.
I bought a black snap-on 3/8 ratchet at Englishtown at the swap meet. I think it's a government. It was a government or military ratchet, and I can see like it's wearing off and it's not staying. But I mean, I bought it used, so no big deal. But I saw a video this week, Brian. I thought he was some guy. I don't know who the hell this guy is, but what he did is he took 3 gear wrench ratchets, 1/4, 3/8, and half, and he ordered the guts from Matco, 1/4, 3/8, and half-inch ratchets, and put the Matco. His video was to prove he could put the Matco guts in the gear wrench ratchets, and even said like, "I don't know why I did this, but I just wanted to do it." I'm like, "Yeah, why did you do that?" I mean, it's still a gear wrench ratchet on the outside.
And the reason why, and the reason why is because we own the patent, or we used to own AJ. No, not AJ. God, I can't remember the name of the company.
Yeah.
But we owned the patent on the ratchets, and they made the ratchets, and that's why there's a difference between the teeth counts in the ratchets. We're 88 and they were 84. Okay.
Right.
And they're basically, and then our ratchets, we sold, or not we, but the company that owns all of us sold that gear wrench division off. So they sold them because there was a conflict of interest because they started gear wrench tool trucks. And they started having tool trucks from gear wrench. And that was a conflict of interest to say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all the ins and outs, but this is just what I've pieces and parts. So it's not 100% it, but we sold that company off. Then we had nobody to make our ratchets. So a company that did our pry bars, AJ Manufacturing, which is a USA company, it's up there in Ohio, outside of Chicago area, they started making our ratchets. And because we own the patent on the heads, that's why Clay had that thing about who owns that ratchet and who owns that ratchet. And there's a whole conflict, and I don't know all the legal jits about it, but we have the patent and they have the material or the stuff to make the ratchet. So I don't know how that comes all out legally, but I know that ours are 88. Those were, and they had 82 or something.
I think it was 84. Yeah.
4. I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah. Wow.
So
You think you just pick up a
that's
tool
why-
and use it, you know?
Right. But we kind of shot ourselves in the foot when we got rid of that gear the company that owned Gear Wrench,
Yeah.
and kind of got us in a position because we had nobody making our ratchets.
Maybe that's why this guy did it, because he didn't say outright, but maybe that was his ulterior motive to show that it really is the same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
and we get a lot. There's a lot of we get a lot of beef about that, but that was like our ratcheting wrenches
Uh-huh.
were basically gear wrench, but the only difference was we had USA material inside.
Okay.
Our gearing was USA, and if you ever look at a gear wrench, a ratcheting wrench, they actually had 2 different versions of that ratcheting wrench, and one will say made on Taiwan and one will say not. The ones that are not are basically like a USA wrench.
Okay.
And then they had the Taiwan wrench.
I
And
just
you
saw
can
something.
find those, and of course.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was gonna say I just saw a video tonight that Clay did about on the Mack truck. They had a set of ratcheting wrenches, and the guy showed that there's a silver ring inside the hex that'll actually, instead of the bolt or nut going all the way through it, it'll actually stop it on that ring. So if you're doing it blind, you don't have to worry about going too far. But if you want to go too far, you can push past it. I thought that was pretty cool. That looked pretty neat. But, I haven't used it, so I don't know.
I don't know who I had to find out,
and I got to tell you,
Apex was a company that we used to own.
I got to,
and they make a lot of gear wrench and stuff like that.
I got to tell you too, Brian. Between this channel, people who come in, and on the radio show, people have on. Everybody is everybody's just commenting like crazy on this flag. Everybody loved it. Where'd you get it? That is great. I mean, even Chris said to me, like, "Oh, that's such a cool flag. Where'd you get that?" I'm like, You're not even a tool guy. What the fuck? I'm like, I have to lift it up and show them that, yeah, it's Matco. But everybody loves this thing. John Day was going nuts over it. Yeah.
We have our Canadian guys. They did something very similar with the Canadian flag too.
Okay.
We have I don't know how many distributors we have in Canada now. So
yeah,
that's all.
So
right.
That's it. The flag's a huge hit. I just threw it up because they took it. The guy at the shop, one of the guys at the shop, made some of the windows open, and I had it in front of a window, so he took it down so they could open the window. And I said, "Well, I'm going to take it and hang it up again. Fuck, I'll take it home and hang it up." So.
Cool.
Just threw it over the Motormouth Radio banner, but everybody is commenting on this, even the people who aren't into tools. So it's a big hit. Tell corporate they knocked this one out of the park.
That that's one of our favorite or the biggest ones that we have. My only issue with it was because of we no longer have USA stuff like that, so I kind of wish they wouldn't throw it. I'm sometimes some of John rubs off on me.
Yeah.
It's good.
John rubs off on all of us every once in a while. Yeah. It's not a bad thing.
But
common sense.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Apex made a lot of stuff for us. And when we sold that division off, because the conflict because of the tool trucks, it really shook a lot of stuff up. So
I did notice that Apex does have a nice line of wrenches. I've seen their stuff. It looks nice. I'm looking at the extra long ratcheting wrenches. They're nice. Apex sells a set of those.
Yeah, and it really, like I said, it took a lot of change, and of course now with AJ Manufacturing, they make, like I said, their stuff is really good, and that was one of the problems that we get crap about because we don't manufacture. The only thing that we make is toolboxes and franchises.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
15 seconds.
and,
Yeah, we're counting
Huh?
down.
15 seconds.
oh yeah. So
10 seconds.
but yeah, just give me a call anytime. We can talk about it.
Yeah, I'd love to. I will. All right, fellas. Have
See
a
you
good
guys.
week.
Guys, be safe.
Okay, you
Always.
too.
See you
Thanks.
soon.
Hey, maybe we're going overtime.
It went
Overtime.
over. You look at that.
Woo-hoo.
Holy
baby.
smokes.
That's weird.
I don't know why. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Lewis paid the bill.
May send Lewis the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We're over 2 hours here.
I was thinking about that. If he took a paid Zoom account, it's $15 a month, which I know is less than he's got to be paying for this. And then you can have up to 1,000 people, unlimited time, and you can moderate who comes in. You don't. It doesn't have to be an open door.
Zoom's got a lot better video and audio quality too.
Yeah, the platform is very nice. Yeah,
It's real stable.
I don't know.
Got to get him to change.
Yeah, he hasn't been talking about it in a while, so I don't know.
It's got a
Yeah,
lot
who
of
knows?
stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're supposed to. I'll send you a picture, Ray. We're supposed to. Our next meeting is next week, I think, and we're supposed to have for Christmas. We're going to have a Rat Fink slot cars.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So I don't have a picture yet, but those will be out late November or something.
Nice.
I think it was. I think cost was like $149 for a track and 2 cars.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought of that. I was like, man, that Rat Fink stuff.
Yeah.
used to
But
suck,
that's got to be,
but
like Aurora size. That's not real slot car. It's got to be the
HO
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
worse. Like
Right.
like the Nomads that we
Yeah,
got.
I got the track. I'm looking at it. I got my Magnum 440 track right up there. I just
Yeah,
need the
All I
car.
got left is a pit pack.
Yeah.
mine's
steering
a
wheel?
little bit back over here. My
Yeah.
track. I keep saying I want to get it out, but I need my controllers are all fucked up.
You can buy them, and if you have existing ones, you can take them apart and rebuild them and
Yeah,
make them better. Yeah.
Remember those ones that
So-
you had
Plunger.
push?
I got a couple of
I
those.
I have the
It was all these
buttons
carbon
and the
discs.
triggers.
If you hit it too hard, you'd break
Yeah, I
the
have-
carbon disc.
I have those.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I
are the
had
oldies.
But
Like a
I
little
don't.
dashboard with the steering wheel.
Yeah, the steering wheel, right? That was the model motoring.
So forward and reverse.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a little metal
those.
box. I got a few of those too.
I must have left it out in the tool truck, but I scored today with a White Lightning. I don't know if you know, they're like the treasure hunts on Hot Wheels for Johnny Lightning.
Yeah.
So I found a White Lightning car. Those are
Where'd you
about
find that?
$50.
Where was that?
I walked through the Sears today. I walked through at lunch.
Oh.
And
You got
went through
Sears
the die
left?
cast.
They closed all the Sears here.
Yeah, here too.
Kind of. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad in there. But I left it out in the truck, but I found a White Lightning. Those are pretty rare. So
You got a lot of you generate a lot of interest on that Regal that you put up. The
Grand
it was a
National.
T-type. That was a T-type, wasn't it? Grand
The black one's a Grand National.
Yeah, the
black
car you
one-
posted was like that silver gray color.
And the gray one is a T-type. But if you look up in the air, there's a Grand National in the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the shop he has that guy. That's actually the shop owner. He blew both the motors up in those.
Really? They make aftermarket blocks now with extra webbing, and they make they make a block that you could do 9s with. Because I know a guy that races. His son races one, and he's into 9s.
He's got 2 Grand Nationals and 2 T-types.
Yeah, nice.
Wow.
And so he's got one Grand National still running. He blew one up. He blew the T-type up, and he's got another T-type. He's getting ready to do the Terry LS swap in.
Okay. Oh well. Another one.
Yeah. He's dumbfounded about all that power supposedly from the LS.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, his
I
buddy
just-
just did
I can't
a
deal with
Chevelle,
LS. I don't know.
a 72 Chevelle. His buddy just did one or something, and so they, he's been working on that, and he's like, man, I can't believe. I was like, dude, don't just stay the way you are, man. You don't.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I just drive around in a tool truck all day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I was talking about this on Sunday, how the guys, my buddy at the shop came by with two of his friends, and they're in their mid-20s. They stopped by last week one night, and they're looking around. They never saw my setup over here, said Google and everything. And he says, we want to get involved in a project. I want to see what you got to say. Like, hey, what? They want to build a van, but like a 70s van. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm all for it. I said, look, man, I lived through it, so I can help you out. And they said, oh, did you ever have one? I'm like, hell no, I never had one. I said, but I've worked on them. I said, and I rode in them. I said, but, to me, a van was with fallen parts in it. It was like a beer. But I said, but I was there, so I could tell you what works and what doesn't work. So I want to see if they stick with it. Then they would talk, because they're young guys. He said, we could probably get a transit van or like an express van. And I said, yeah, listen, now you're going to get the modern engine, transmission, powertrain, fuel injection, all that. Yeah, that's all great. But you know what? The cool factor is zero. I said, you got to have, a Ford or a Dodge or a Chevy. You got to have that short, stubby little Chevy C30 van. You got to portholes, side pipes that aren't hooked up, Craigers, flares. We were talking all about that, John and I. It's like, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to find a set of old Kragers and a set of what was that? Racetrack tires? What were those tires? They look like little eyes that tread. Look like
I got a set outside. Those were
Pro Track. No.
Pro Tracks.
Pro Track.
Pro Track.
Yep. Gotta have them Pro Track tires.
Actually, I have a set with my stars on them for my Mustang.
So that's why I read magazines like this, where they had all the stuff you needed to build whatever it was you were building. And this is from the 80s. It's
I
actually
think you probably have the CarCraft issue that my car was in.
I don't know. I might.
I've got. I can't find. What
May
year
of
was yours in
1982.
Hot Rod?
What did you say?
82. What year was yours in 82?
May of 82 in CarCraft.
What about Hot Rod? Was it in the? It was in the shootout, right?
Yeah, it was in the shootout coverage, and it was also in popular hot rodding.
I have one of them,
and it was in a magazine called Hot Cars. I've been in a bunch of articles. I have a whole tote that's got like 15 issues of each one.
Yeah,
that I'm just keeping. Yeah, if you find a May 1982, it's got a Pinto with a blower motor on the cover, a blue Pinto. Hey, did you hear Trump's speech?
Which one was that?
At Mount Rushmore, when he mentioned the Ford F-150.
I didn't hear him mention. No, I was watching. I saw that on because I kept replaying it.
Yeah. That was pretty wild. He talked about all of the great stuff of America, and one of the things that he mentioned was the Ford F-150.
Now, what's his association with the Ford F-150? He probably never rode in one.
I don't think there's any other pickup truck that's sold as many as an F-150. I think it's the number one selling pickup truck in history. That's why I drive a GMC.
Yeah.
For 19 years or 20 years.
Yeah, right. There's more F-150s in the world than there is anything else.
Yep.
It's a good truck. You can't knock it. You can't knock Ford trucks. They're good trucks.
Man, this magazine even has a card in here to get a holiday rate of a year for $5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bet if you send it in, they won't honor it.
Oh no. Some of this stuff is like so complete. This is 1969. I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's December 69.
Wow.
Yeah, I got over 40 years of hot rod magazines.
Good
That's
at
the
it.
ones I like. Magazines like
Cruising.
Cruising.
this has all
Hey,
the street
You
stuff.
got any of the magazines from Seymour Bowles?
You know, I do have some Marty Shore stuff. Some
Chevy
cars.
Power magazine.
Yeah.
What was the other ones? He had a couple of magazines. I worked for him for a while. I did a lot of freelance photography and articles for him, tech articles.
I just, I look back at the way cars were built, and I shudder now. I'm like, oh my god, we really did that. Like everything had hijackers, and Roadrunner with with glass, a bar in the trunk. You got like Camaros that look like this.
Yeah, but that's a nice looking air dam.
It's if you want to plow
Right.
snow,
Looks like hell from the side.
you want to plow snow with it. But
Yeah.
some of them are just like some of the stuff is just hideous in retrospect. But
Well, it was good at the time. It's based on
Yeah.
the technology.
Here's Lewis Lee going down to California.
There you go.
He had an ironworker make his grill. Spanish boogie. Arriba. Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy stuff, man. I love looking at this old stuff. It just takes me back.
Yep.
The 71 supercars are alive. It's all a write-up on. I love reading the write-ups on new for 71. Yeah. Carcraft, mine blowers on the street, with the cop behind the. Great stuff. Great stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, we had yesterday. We had this dude going down the road here in a Fox body with no hood and a parachute going,
Wow. Really?
and the cop pulling him over. That was pretty classic.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And they've been laying back. I mean, like I said, because the last couple Sundays we've had over 100 cars easy up
Really?
at our Sunday morning.
That's
And,
good.
Man, I tell you one thing. It was getting a little out of hand there towards the end, but because the cops haven't been doing anything. They said they were going to be out trying to watch all that stuff. They don't. So I don't know.
It always starts out good and ends bad.
Yeah, I know.
There's
And
always
that's right by your house, Brian?
Yeah, it's about 3 miles up the road.
Okay.
So go up there and Sunday mornings, and it's we got a lot of stuff up there, man. There's always something will throw you back. So
Does it make you want to come home and work on the Mustang?
It does, and I'm actually having a really hard time now because since they've come out with the conversion kits of changing a coupe to a fastback, they got that kit to do that. Man, the price of that car is shot up so much because everybody's looking for original one now.
It's funny. I watched the video tonight. Tony DeFeo, Uncle Tony's garage.
Uncle
He's in
Tony.
Tennessee. And he walked into, there's this guy, Kiwi, who's got a shop down there, does some awesome stuff. I mean, crazy builds. And he has a Cougar, and he cut the roof, the back of the roof off it, and he has the whole back section off a fastback Mustang, and they actually lifted it up and laid it over the Cougar. He's going to graft that fastback onto the Cougar.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a cool looking car.
That's
Really,
it.
it's gonna be different looking.
But there's like I said, I'm just like, of course, the longer it sits here, it's other than what I did when I was a kid and hacked up the floorboard to put the vertigate shifter and
Yeah. I
twisted,
dropped the hand grenade through my floor too. It was like it was.
Gotta have it.
I twisted that car up. I spent a lot of money to get that car straight again.
Yeah.
And I twisted the fuck out of it. But like I said, it's not like butchered like a lot of that stuff is.
Right.
And it being an A car, that's a 225 horsepower car. So technically, because there's no way of determining the build sheet on it, I can make it a GT, and you could never, because the VIN, it had to have an A or a K.
Okay, so that was like an option. The GT was like an option on that model.
Right. And,
Yeah, it's like the early cars. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Wow.
you know, it wasn't until after 67 when they started denoting that stuff, or, you know, making that stuff. So technically, if I wanted to, that's the only thing that pisses me off. It had the quick ratio steering box, the bigger sway bar. It's got the wiring harness for the GT, so I could put the lights in and so forth, the driving lights. But it doesn't have disc brakes. It was a drum car.
So great. The one thing you got is the 50-year-old wiring harness, which is perfect.
Hey, you know, but
I
I'm just
know.
saying, you know, that's what the car. I mean, the car came with it, and it's got the drill marks for where the light switch for the GT stuff. It has all that stuff sitting there.
So you could be Jim Morrison too.
Huh?
You could be Jim Morrison too.
Yeah. Well, that was the '67 Shelby.
Okay. But I mean, let's face it. The alternative is if you were to sell it, you know, then you'd want to buy something else anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, unless
Well,
listen, people get in touch with me all the time about this. They want like counseling. And I tell them, you know, sometimes the easiest path is, you know, you have the car you want, but you don't have the means or the time or the money to build it. So the best thing to do is then maybe sell that and then buy one that's 80% or more done that you can drive and finish.
Yeah.
You know, at least it gets you in the driver's seat and it gets you out there on the street.
Well, that's why I gotta send John up the street to outside of Jacksonville to go find my GT, my '89. That's where it is. I found it.
Oh yeah,
Won't answer me.
that's cool. I'll take a ride up there. I got an aquarium up there that I should check on.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
Got an outside guy that takes care of it.
I've had a lot of stupid offers for the car, and I've turned everyone down. So I don't think I'll ever sell it. It's just that what I want to do to it, and then I'm like, man, I should just put it back all stock. That car would be worth so much. But I know that I'll never sell it. Of course, after I die, the kids won't care, and they'll, you know, some guy will come in and lowball them and take it off here and
Oh yeah.
go on. So I don't know.
I know. We're all on that boat.
It's terrible, huh?
Yeah.
So, oh well. But I don't know. Like I said, who knows?
Yeah. No, but it'd be nice to be out driving something, you know. It's
Yeah, it's even like shit. I like to get my Scout back on the road. Man, those things are going for crazy money now.
they are. Though there's a big resurgence in those things, yeah. I mean, I told people this 5 years ago, right, when I got my car back on the road, and I said, it's a freaking time machine. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, because I get in that car and I look out the windshield at the same fenders and hood I looked at in 1975.
Yep.
And I hit Sunrise Highway, pull second gear, and 30 years just goes off the back of my head. You know, it's like, because I had the car for so long, it really just takes you back in time. It's just, and even if you're just cruising around, you don't have to be doing anything crazy. It's just a good feeling. You know, it's a good feeling.
So hopefully,
and we all deserve to have good feelings. You need to feel good about something.
Hopefully by next summer I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. So
you know, there's enough crap out there that you need something good in your life.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should just get up and running.
Well, that's the other alternative. Instead of looking at the plan of finished, because I never looked at my car as being finished. I just looked at it as in stages. Like I want to drive it, so I know I got to do, you know, all the stuff from scratch: suspension, engine, tranny, brakes. I knew I had to do all of that. So it was all mechanical, which is big deal. It's just mechanical and it's dirty and it's what I like. It's what I do. I'm not a body guy, so I never even thought about the body work and paint. I didn't care. And and it just went easy. It was it was real easy. It was like one summer of just out there every day grinding on it, and like sweating, and then like hitting the pool, and then like in the morning out there again, and and in the summer I had most of that work done, most of the hard stuff done. And then it went into the winter. I remember I was out there doing wiring, with the heater on. It was stuff
I
like
remember those days.
yeah, but it was doable. It was actually doable. And then to be able to drive it, it was like good. It's then of course the first thing all your friends say is, "Oh, hey, when are you going to finish it?" Like, you know what? It's never going to be finished. Car's never done. It's never done. It's always a work in progress. Here you just see the scars a little more because it's not painted. I kind of like it like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about not painting mine for a while.
Yeah, but you want to go back. You see, that car has a history and a proven history. So you got to go back to one of the iterations, whichever one you choose. Well, actually, you're kind of locked in because of the body mod. So you got to go back to the way it looked.
I plan on painting it exactly like it was, even though it's 80s dated,
Yeah, but that's
style.
okay.
It doesn't matter.
It's a piece of history. It represents a piece of history.
Yeah. But it looks pretty badass in that semi-gloss black primer,
Oh, everything does, yeah.
It's like that Murder Nova color, and it's like,
And
I
that's
look at the car and I'm like, it actually looks pretty cool. Like
It's like even my car, when they did the body work, the patch panels and all, they didn't do all the finish, stud some dents in it. But the primer is gray, but it has like a violet in it. So in the right light, you can see this like light purple color. And people thought it was paint. It was like gray with like a purple pearl. I'm like, no, man, that's primer, but it's got a violet in it. It's just, I think it's easier for them when they use a guide coat. You put a nice set of wheels on the car, and it's like, it looked good. I'm like, yeah, it does look good. It had that tough look, but the unfinished tough look.
Yeah, mine's that yellow primer seal.
Yeah, the catalyzed primer, right?
Yeah.
My other Fiat was done like that. That's cool because water beads up on that.
Yeah, well, the guy told me, he goes, how long is this thing gonna be sitting? And I said, I don't know, maybe 10 years, and that was 30 years ago. He said, man, this thing could sit in the ocean and not rust.
He's right.
Wow.
He's right.
And like I said, he did all the lead work. I mean, I don't have the door handles, and all that stuff is shaved.
Okay.
And we put the Thunderbird lights in.
So, to go back to stock now, you got to undo stuff that you already did. So that doesn't.
I know that. I keep going, but
that's what I'm saying. I would say to you, just put the car together and make it drivable and make it safe. And then just to put it out there, like no interior, just throw it out there just so you can drive the thing and it'll be safe to drive. And then drive it around for a year and see what you think about it. And then, you make the changes as you go along. Let your plan evolve. I think that's the problem. A lot of people have a set plan and they can't see the end of it in sight, so they don't do anything and it stops.
Right.
Well, like I said, because back then, I got the 9-inch Lincoln Versailles rear disc brakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that whole setup sitting here. That's what was going to go in there, And of course, then you start like, oh well, I want to do this instead. And I like the vintage stuff. I mean, I like that's why, like I said, I mean, I'm kind of stuck on that. That's why I've never thought about doing a Coyote swap or fuel injection. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
what rear is in the car now? What's actually in the car?
Motor wise?
Rear end wise.
Oh, right. Oh, it's a 8-inch drum brakes. I mean, it's what came with the car.
So leave it and drive it with that in it. Because the Versailles rear's got to be narrowed. That's a little wider, right?
Same size. That's why really? Lincoln, it was the same size. It's a direct bolt in.
What about offset? Wheel offset?
No, it's direct. It was for the Lincoln Versailles and the Ford Granado that had the 4-wheel disc.
Right.
Was the same size as a 56 Ford wagon, which is the exact same size.
I know where there's one of them sitting, by the way. But I would say get a motor together, motor and tranny combo. And then once that's in, then you can reassess the rear end issue. Because to do the Versailles rear and the brakes isn't a big deal. It's just a little
weekend swap.
Yeah, it's a little more work. But this way, if you once you get the engine and tranny set up, if your balls are itching to drive it, you could put a drive shaft in and drive it. That's what I'm saying. And that's the payoff right there. So you take it out and you're driving the car. It's like ka-ching. Now if you want to do the rear end swap, okay.
I just put a new U-joint in.
There you go. Yeah. Perfect.
There you go.
You're holding yourself back. That's what you're doing. You're holding yourself back.
Oh,
You got to just throw something out there, and it's amazing how your incentive will just take over. You'll do shit you didn't think you were going to do.
I did that the other night. I don't know why I put a new U-joint in the drive shaft.
Because you knew I was going to be talking to you about this.
That's funny.
I can't wait to get going on this project. I want to get this Camaro out of here.
Oh, you got a head of steam, man. You're like ready. Yeah.
I'm close, but not yet.
No, but you're there. You're right there.
Well, I'm going to tell you, honestly, the thing that scares me, each one of these digital pieces of this puzzle, I look through the instructions, there's so much pre-programming. It's like unbelievable. Like I'm going to have to like put jumper wires everywhere. Just the distributor there, it's a Holley Hall effect electronic distributor.
Okay.
That's plug and play with this digital dash, with this sniper EFI ignition system, and the actual fuel injection system. They're all tied together with each other, but just reading the instructions on the distributor, you got to set the motor to 50 degrees before TDC. You got to pull the distributor out. You got to set the distributor in place. And because it's a tall deck, it's got the collar, the lockdown collar is movable. So you gotta do measurements to make sure that the distributor gear is engaging the right amount, that you're not crushing the oil pump drive shaft,
Right.
that you're not too high, so you're really not hitting the cam gear the right way. So I got to get all of that stuff done. I mean, I'm gonna pull the distributor out of here, and I'm just gonna mic up from the bottom of the cam, the distributor gear to where the collar is already.
Yeah.
And set the other one like that, and then check it. But you got to do all of that. And then after you set the thing at 50 degrees before top dead center, then you have to pull a connector and feed 12 volts into the distributor, and you got to rotate the distributor until 2 lights go on, and then rotate it again until 1 goes out, and that's the phasing. Then you got to lock it down. And then they want you to start the motor and make sure that it's reading what it's got to read. But sorry, I don't even have it connected to the ignition or to the fuel injection or anything.
Never been started, yeah. But the good thing is, though, all those systems that you're using offer really good tech support. And
I call in Holley Tech.
But I've seen it on TV, even with Gas Monkey. They're on the phone like with the Holley guy or whoever.
Yeah, well, that was before this fucking China shit.
China.
I had to call Holley a couple of weeks ago to talk to them about something. My cell phone was sitting on my workbench for 45 minutes on hold.
So you mean Rocco's going to pick the car up? It's going to have like a Mallory dual point and a Holley 780 on it, right?
Well, I could have, instead of doing things right with all the right tech, I could have just left the MSD distributor that's already in there.
Right.
And just hooked up an MSD blaster coil.
Yeah.
And I'm done. Because this distributor is called all-in-one.
Yeah.
The ignition system that fires the coil is built into the distributor.
Yeah.
You don't go out and buy, like an MSD6 or a 7 or or Pertronics. You don't buy a box.
Right.
You literally run a switched 12 volts into the distributor, and the positive and negative lines from the distributor directly to the coil. There's your ignition system. Done.
That's how my Pertronics works.
Yeah, it's finished.
Yeah.
I went and talked the kid into getting the digital dash and going with the Sniper EFI coil and ignition system, only to find out from Holley that this distributor doesn't work with that because it's an all-in-one.
Right.
You need essentially a Hall trigger or a crank trigger style or an optical trigger deal. So that changed everything.
Yeah.
The distributor was 300 and change, and I have like all of these cables, stuff that's got to get put together. And if you're using this distributor, then you got to pull this wire out and move it to this pin location. So I'm pinning. I have to pin cables. I got to do all kinds of crazy. And I'm like, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to hit the starter button, and this thing isn't going to start.
You got to just go one step at a time.
Yeah, but the problem is I'm trying to figure that stuff out, with these instruction books. And I got to jump around between what the fuel system, the injection system wants, what does the distributor want, what does the ignition box want. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's straight out not a problem is the actual coil.
Yeah.
Comes with a plug for the coil and with a plug that goes into the ignition system, and it's a done deal. That's the only thing that's straightforward on this whole thing. I have to, there's certain things that this EFI unit will automatically send the signal to the digital dash, but then there's things that it doesn't send. Oil pressure. I had to buy $130 oil sender.
Really?
Specifically made for this Holly deal.
Wow.
Oh.
Right? So, all of that. There's some simple stuff like for the speedometer, it's just a little GPS box. Goes right on top of the dashboard with a magnet, and you plug it in. That's a done deal. Not an issue. But there's stuff.
So you're still going to do that stuff in your car or no?
Well, this is going to be the warm-up.
Sure.
If I find that this is more aggravating than it's worth,
right.
I got a nice 1150 Dominator sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, dual point to 780. There you go.
No, I'll go back to my MSD. I have MSD. I got them from my friend Vic. I used to run 7ALs.
Yeah.
And I always did dual ignition boxes and dual coils because I never knew when something was going to blow out 30 miles away from home.
Yeah, yeah.
So having dual ignition systems, dual coils, if something happens, you flip a switch, you take the coil wire, move it from coil 1 to coil 2, you hit the start button, and you go.
Okay.
Done. So my friend gave me a bunch of MSD Digital 8 boxes. I have like 4 of them. I'll sell a couple, I'll keep 2, and I'll put the Digital 8 in the car because it controls everything that I need to control. With the 7AL, you used to have a bunch of outside boxes, like a rev limiter box for the, starting line and stuff to pull timing back. The Digital 8, it's all there on dip switches. So if you turn the nitrous on and you want to pull the timing back, you just hit the switches, you're done. But I may just wind up going, buying the same motor, but buy it with the carburetor on it.
Yeah.
And keep it old school, in other words.
Right.
I was thinking about Holly makes a digital dash that's bigger than this one. It's like 9 inches wide. And with the Trans Am dashboard, you got a lot of real estate that you could cover with that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I was thinking about doing that. And now I'm thinking, you know what? I need odometer gauges, speedo, tachometer, and then 4, 2 5/8 gauges going down the highway there.
Right.
Old school.
Yeah,
Put the shift light up on top of the dashboard and make it look like the race car that it used to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's very simple. And I don't have a problem with that stuff. It's very easy to wire.
Yeah, sure.
You know? So
John, are you going to do the Volkswagen or the Charger Firebird?
I kind of leaning towards the Charger one.
Yeah.
I like the Charger one.
Yeah.
I don't know what people are thinking.
Let me tell you something. That took a lot of work to do that.
Yeah.
That Volkswagen one, that took a lot of work.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
And it looked good.
Yeah, not bad. The bird makes everything right.
I don't know why they're giving you Pontiac guys a hard time.
I got to tell you, on that note, last Saturday or Sunday, I'm sitting there watching TV. Smoking the Bandit 3 was on. I'm like,
that was the worst one.
Yeah, but actually, it had some pretty funny. There was a lot of little TNA in there. It was pretty cool. And then right after that, they followed it with 2, and then they followed it with 1. They went in reverse.
Oh, they went the other way.
I watched like 6 hours, almost 8 hours of Smokey and the Bandit. I just couldn't stop. I said, after this one, I'm done. I'm done.
I missed Tom DeLuise. He was a funny guy.
Yeah, hilarious.
I love the outtakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he talks about how he's the head gynecologist.
Yeah. He was a proctologist, though. He was a proctologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was the other doctor. That was
The other doctor with the funny eyes.
Right.
That was the guy from Cannonball Run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was that guy with those weird eyes?
I can't think of his name.
Well, it was Marty Feldman, but that was the other guy. That was.
Nah, it wasn't Marty Feldman.
I know who you're talking about. This guy, I can't remember. I got the movie over here. I could go get it, but
Yeah. in Smokey the Bandit 3, he was a gynecologist from Italy.
Oh,
funny.
shit.
great movies.
All right, guys. I got to get ready. Get ready to run credit cards tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Whoa. I ran about 6 or 8 of them today.
Nice.
I love running them. Instant
Well,
gratification.
I love mine now. I mean, mine's all programmed. So it does it all at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And like 4 o'clock, I get up, I go down, and there's, it just shows if there's somebody got kicked out, I make the phone call in the morning and see what's going on. And
Yeah.
or
So yours does the automatic batching and everything, right?
yeah, batching, it runs, batch, and sends off a receipt all at once.
Nice.
I used to spend an hour on Friday mornings running credit cards manually, go through the machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now it's all set up, and man, it's like our best friend. This thing will run till the end of time.
That's cool.
I'm still taking money from you. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I
That's
don't know
cool.
if it's going to get the money, but it's going to keep running, man. There's no stopping it.
Right.
I love when I go to the mailbox and I open it up and there's like a stack of checks from all of my monthly customers.
Yeah.
And the best one is usually when I go to the bank to make the deposit, I always put the check from Shaquille O'Neal right on the top of the pile. And no matter which branch I go to, somebody always like, oh my God, you get stuff from Shaquille O'Neal? It's like, yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
My daughter just got, with the design stuff she's doing, they just did a guy's, I forget who he is, he's a rapper, but he gave them a referral. They're out in the Hamptons. And he says, yeah, my friend is coming out and she's buying a house and she wants you to do the design. And it's Rihanna.
Oh, wow.
Rihanna. I'm like, whoa. So she goes, yeah, I'm going to be, she doesn't know if she's going to meet her or not, but she's going to be working on a house. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. He's got a gal out in LA that takes care of all of his billing and stuff. She's a really nice lady.
She was just working. She had a spec out. There's a person, they only live like not even a mile south of me here in Merrick. And they were doing it out. They got like a multi-level deck up and down. It's all outside. They want outside furniture and flooring and a fireplace. So her job was to handle all of the furniture, the sectional stuff, the chairs, this, to that. So she's running down what she was getting, and it's outdoor stuff. She goes, Dad, what do you think this stuff costs? I'm like,
outdoor furniture is expensive.
Yeah, I found out. I thought that 30 grand. She's like, no, like 40. No, it ended up being 100 grand for the outdoor furniture. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like,
high-end outdoor furniture is not cheap.
And the designer she works for now gets like a third. Her contractor, she gets like a third of what that is as her fee. I'm like, Jen, they gotta start kicking you up and giving you a raise or something, because you're getting like $15 an hour. You need to get more.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
My kid just got kicked up. She's making 80 grand a year.
Nice. Doing what? What does she do?
She's in the insurance business.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
She's got a big promotion. She's kind of like almost like a district manager kind of a thing.
Is that down there by you?
Working under her. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty awesome, man. I'm like, wow.
Nice.
It's at 80 G's. Now you can start paying me back for all the stuff I bought for you all these years.
I want my damn microphone back too.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
Unreal.
Well, that's the thing, you know. I mean, I put both of the kids through school, and I told them, listen, you know what? That's on me. It's like you got to take it from there. You know, it's like you gotta make something of it from there. But that's what you do. You do the best you can. You know.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I'm gonna hit the road.
Yes, sir. Me too. We'll
Guys.
talk to you all soon.
Yeah. We got a bunch of overtime on this one.
45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
give me a call.
All right. We'll do, guys.
I'll tell you all the different secrets.
All right. What's a good time to call you during the week? I never know what's good for you because you're always, you know.
I'm always ready to talk.
All right. I'll catch you over the
Cell
weekend.
phone's on 24/7.
All right.
No problems, Ray. No problems. All right.
All right, guys. All right.
See you later.
So long.